What you doing out in these streets, slave rule? What you doing out in these streets? What you doing out? What you doing out? What you doing out in these streets? What you doing out in these streets, slave rule? We in these streets.
Look at him. Look how gorgeous he is. Oh, he's a lead rapper.
He looks very pretty, like a pretty boy.
But he's so not.
Is he a rapper?
He's a rapper. He's like
What is
this.
K-pop?
Yeah, this. Bro, you need to listen to Korean hip hop. It's so good. Okay, if I play you one song of him right now, you need to see his music videos.
You make like I don't know K-pop.
Okay, but have you heard of August D?
August who?
D.
No.
Oh, bro. So there's 7 people in BTS, okay?
Okay.
4 of them singers, 3 of them are rappers.
Okay.
And he's like the main rapper in the group. But he's not the leader.
He's not the leader.
The leader is also a rapper, but he mostly does like producing
Oh really?
and rapping as well, yeah. But they're all like busy releasing their solo albums, and album 2 of them just went to do their mandatory military service.
Oh shit! I remember they have to do that. South Koreans have to do that.
Yeah.
They are South Koreans, right?
Yes, they are.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
But he's not gonna do it. He's gonna do like civil servant work because he injured his shoulder when he was younger, so he can't do active duty military service.
So what's he doing? Civil?
Civil servant.
Civil servant. So what is that?
It's like, community service and stuff like that, or volunteering for whatever. So he has to do, I don't know.
Oh, so if you're hurt, if you're injured.
Yeah, and his was like a serious injury. He had to go for a shoulder surgery and all that other stuff.
So if you present documentation, then you can be exempt.
They
from
actually
military
told
duty.
him you can't do active military service
They
because
told
of your
him?
injury. Yeah, because it was like really bad. Because he kept it a secret for so many years because he didn't want to get kicked out of the company. So he was suffering through that pain, and obviously all those movements from the dancing stuff must have damaged his shoulder even more.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hectic. So how long is it? Is it 2 years for this service?
Yeah, 2 years.
2 years. So what do they actually do? Do you know?
They just train, I think, for like 6 months, and then they it's not like there's a war or anything going on. So it's
Yeah.
basically just, by the border, or they position them somewhere.
Yeah.
And they just chill there for 2 years until the service is done, and then whatever. But it's like basically like if there is a war, then they can call all men that have done their service already to go because they're all trained, right?
Oh shit!
yeah.
So they're basically on standby.
Yeah, everybody. So like you have to do like your military stuff. So if there is like a big war,
Yeah.
they can be like, okay, everybody, now you need to go.
report to the dance floor.
Exactly. And that's like what 90% of all the men.
And women? Do women also have to go?
They
for
can
this?
volunteer.
Okay,
Women
they
can volunteer, but it's not mandatory for women.
okay.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Which is pretty sexist though. It's like, come on, if you want your whole country to know how to, because they don't, only the police can have guns. But even then, if they're in the police station, you have to lock up your gun. So when you go out to investigate something, that's when you're gonna like sign out your gun basically and take it.
Okay.
With gangs, they don't use guns, are illegal. So their gun laws in South Korea is like really, it's like so good. But obviously there's knife violence and assault and whatever,
other
all that
weapons
stuff.
that they
Yeah,
use,
yeah.
So are you saying no civilians have guns?
No civilians.
Only the military and the police force. And that's crazy. That's how you control population, you know that?
Exactly.
That's fucked up.
So nobody dies of like suicide with a gunshot unless it's an illegal firearm.
Yes.
And you can obviously trace
So,
it, whatever.
but people jump off buildings, I'm
Of
sure.
course, the suicide rate is like the bullying is terrible in high schools. It's the worst.
It's a
in the world.
cyberbullying mostly, or?
Yeah, bro.
Shit.
Because they're very conservative and stuff like that. So if like any like a nipple or boob, whatever like leaks, oh my
Yeah.
god, my life is over. My family's gonna disown me.
Don't do cock.
Hectic.
I met somebody who was from South Korea. This was back in 2004, maybe 2003. I didn't actually ask her about.
Because they're
life
all
over
about
there.
like getting married and having kids.
Really?
Getting married and having kids, yeah.
I think I don't think there's sexism when it comes to the military rule, right? I think it's if something goes down in war and most of the men die,
Yeah.
then at least they have women to repopulate the country
Yeah.
and reproduce, and so. The
But they're
genetics
all
can-
very like sexist and like chauvinistic as
Really?
well, yeah. For real. Because for them, like they're very conservative. So a woman's place is at home, having children, It's like barefoot and pregnant, basically.
Wow.
I wouldn't think so, but nowadays it's getting a little bit better. Like the new generation, obviously, they're pushing more towards, equality and all that other stuff. And they're very like, you have to respect your elders and do whatever your elders say, no matter what. Like you have to show that respect.
Have you been there?
No, I'll be going next year.
Easy.
I want to go next year, yeah.
For holiday.
Yeah.
Nice.
Bro, that's how, like, me and my sister got, like, Amy hooked on K-dramas and, like, K-pop as well. So we, like,
The
determined.
K-dramas is insane.
So good.
Yo.
Have you watched The Glory?
No, I don't think so.
Bruh, watch The Glory. That's about
Glory.
bullying, and it's based on a true story.
Really?
Yeah.
The Glory.
So this girl, she was bullied in high school,
Make a note
and
of that.
they used to burn her with a hair iron on her
spoilers, though.
arms.
No spoilers.
But
Okay, wait.
it's- yeah, but
they
that's like
burnt her
basic,
the-
yeah. So,
Wow.
and then it's obviously a story about how she gets revenge on them.
Holy shit. She takes revenge on them?
Bro, you need to watch it.
Sure. The Glory. No, but their movies is so good.
I'm watching Taxi Driver now. And that's also about getting revenge for others.
Really?
I like that revenge stuff, and I take a break and I do like rom-coms, and I take a
Yeah.
break and I do like period pieces. Just, clean your palate and go back to like the heavy
Yeah.
stuff. Oh, The Glory and Somebody.
Somebody. The Glory, Somebody, and Taxi Driver.
Yes.
Somebody. Do you watch the Parasite? Or Parasite?
I didn't watch it yet. I know, I should. Everybody's like, I didn't watch Squid Games yet. No, bro.
But you did such a...
Yeah, I'm working, but I
Yeah.
like fantasy and revenge stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
Thrillers, I'm slowly I don't like scary stuff, so I'm slowly
Okay.
working my way to it.
I got
Yeah.
you.
And I know like Parasite is like heavy. I mean, I still want to try and watch Train to Busan as well, and that's like,
Trying to boost.
it's like with zombies and shit, and I don't like zombies.
Also a K-drama.
Yeah, it's a movie. It's like one of the
Sheesh.
scariest movies.
It was one that I watched, man. That was so good. I recommended it to a friend also. It was like a game thingy, but it was so good, man. It's not isn't the same as Squid Games. Completely different.
Yeah.
But it was. I can't remember the name. It will come to me. But that's so good.
But their shit is like, it's really
it's
good.
good, man. It's gripping. It's
Have
compelling.
have you watched like The Good Doctor, the American series?
Mm.
Now, The Good Doctor is based on the K-drama.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's only one series and they now did
Which is
multiple.
better?
Yeah.
But,
But
no.
they do-
Okay, which one is better? The American one or
I
the...
didn't watch the Korean one or the American one yet.
Oh.
Because it's so long, it's like medical. Blah, blah,
Yeah.
Yeah. But they really do. They do most of the stories. It's from webtoons. They do webtoons shows into live action.
What's webtoons?
Like webtoons is like a online book, but it's like comic books basically.
Oh.
It's a graphic novel, and they do.
Oh.
Yeah, so they will take a webtoon and they'll maybe turn it into like a. Yeah, sometimes they even do Japanese shows
Yeah.
into Korean.
I didn't
Like they
know
did with Money Heist.
Yes, yes.
Money Heist what was it? Wasn't it German or something?
Was it a German show?
I don't know. Or
Holy
Spanish show or whatever. I don't
oh,
know.
yes, it is Spanish, yes,
Yeah.
it is Spanish.
So Money Heist was a Spanish, and now they did the
Yes.
Korean version of Money
I
Heist.
saw
as well,
that,
Yeah.
but it looks exactly the same. So I was like, no, I'm not gonna watch
It
this.
is exactly.
I was like, no. I was like, yo, the Koreans are on this. I was
They're
like, yo.
on it, but they're so. It's better than like soapies.
Yeah.
and,
But it was like, it was so similar, even line for line, man. I was like, no, I'm not gonna fall for this. Stop.
Because it's also easy for them to just take the script,
Yes.
the English script that they have and the
Yes.
subtitles from the Spanish one, just put it directly
Yeah.
there, you
no,
know?
it's much better. And I'm sure that they want to read all the time also, man.
Yeah.
How do you know so much about Korea?
Because when I got into BTS, you fall into a spiral.
So, so there's one band led me to this whole culture about
Yes,
Korea.
you fall into
Oh
a
my
spiral because they're so good. They were one of the first bands that made it big. They went to the Grammys. They got all these awards. You know, they basically opened the door for
Gotcha.
other bands. You know, so even like that's why Blackpink is also like famous now. Stray Kids, I think GOT7, all like the old they third generation, but. You know, Psy, Gangnam Style, he
He was
pushed the
the
door
first one,
open,
yeah.
right? But I mean, he was a solo artist, so
Yes.
people like know him as a solo artist. But he pushed the door open and he made way for like all of them basically. And then BTS just like kicked it open.
Wow.
So yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, you obviously you go into a spiral. Then it went from K-pop to K-drama to K-food So
Okay, food.
yeah, Korean food is so good.
I'm not saying it's not good. I just didn't know, like, you're so immersed in this culture. Like, wow.
I even tried to learn Korean. It's just hard. So I just learned the
Really?
basics, yeah.
Wow.
Like, hello.
Have you had Korean food already? Like,
Yeah, I go every month.
to where?
Since I got home, there's a place in Sea Point called Kimchi.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yes, and then there's Korean Kitchen also that's also in Sea Point, and then I also went to Minari that's in Stellenbosch. So yeah.
There was this friend of mine that I told you about earlier. She gave me like Korean stuff to make, like Korean rice and a whole bunch of stuff. And it was quite cool.
Yeah, the
It was
ramen.
so different.
Ramyeon is nice. The kimchi is really good. Amy loves the kimchi.
Is it?
I like spicy food, but I'm not like a heavy spicy person. Yeah, if it's mild, then it's okay.
So there's one band. Wow! And now you're going to Korea as well, to South Korea.
Yeah.
You gotta say South Korea. You can't just say.
Korea. No, because some people are gonna think you're gonna go north, and they're like, oof.
Yeah, you don't want to go there. Heavy. Yeah, I'd like to go there one day.
Yeah.
I haven't been to an Asian continent yet.
Me neither. And I always wanted to go to like Japan or China. Those were the ones that I really wanted to go to first. But then obviously now fell in love with these guys, and I'm like, you know what? Japan's always gonna be there. China's always gonna be there. But
Korea's also always gonna. Did you know that?
But BTS might not be because they might disband. So
No, but if you go there, they might be on tour or something.
well, Sugar's already on tour and he's my bias. So
okay.
yeah. But by the time next year when I go there, he's gonna be there.
Okay, so you're gonna check the tour schedule first before
Yeah. And then, like, I think Jin is going to be coming out that time. J-Hope will probably out later. But yeah. They're my life. Look at them.
you. You can't say they're your life.
They are my life. God, why?
You got stickers on there.
Yes.
Wow.
They everything. Like, my whole Spotify is just filled with K-pop.
Really?
Yeah, bruh.
Yeah.
Like all my like songs. Oh, my phone is so slow. I hate it. Why am I in here? What's this? My phone
That
is
was like
so
a
messed
different playlist to me.
up. Oh, I really hate my phone. There we go. Like all
Wow.
K-pop artists. Well, this is different artists. This is my like album, but then I have my boys, which is my BTS. All my BTS songs is in here. And then I've got my girls, which is like my K-pop female vibes.
Do you know what they say?
Do you know what they say in Kwaito?
Yeah, I can ask people. I normally do that. What does this line mean? What does
So?
this line mean? I'm not trying to say
But
why
I
you
mean,
listen to them if you can't. I'm just asking, do you know
you
what
don't
they say?
need to know what they're saying to enjoy the music, and also you can always look up the lyrics.
Do you look up the lyrics?
Of course, on Google, and sometimes they have it like on there as well,
Yeah.
in like the English
No,
version. You can translate it.
I wasn't trying to like ask like it's,
Yeah, I know.
it's ridiculous because I know there's like music that I like that I don't understand also.
It's like listening to Spanish music. You don't know what the fuck they're saying, but you like the beat. You know, it's like listening to Kwaito. Some people like Gom, which is what the fuck do you like that music?
And why don't you like Gom?
Because it's Gom. It's so horrendous.
What is that?
Terrible. Ugh. Yeah. But no, it's just something about it, like the way that, especially BTS, the way that they put their music together. I was like, bro. Yeah. And then when I watched, like, the first music video I watched was Boy With Love. That was in 2019. That's when it was released, yeah. That was the first song I heard of them, the first music video, K-pop song I saw. And then I saw Sugar. And I was like, what the fuck is this gorgeous guy? Done. I was done. And then obviously you see someone, you're like, oh fuck, but wait, because when you first see them, it's like, fuck, they all look the same. But the more you get to know them,
Racist.
but it is. When you first look, it's like, oh shit, they all this, especially when they change their hair color. Like, fuck, who's who, you know?
Okay.
So then you obviously have to go and you have to research who's who. And it's like, no, this is the one. No, that's the one. Yeah, that was the one.
Okay.
And then you just go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. Sugar's the main rapper. I'm not a fan of like a heavy fan of hip hop and stuff like that. But after listening to it, I'm like, yeah, no, I like rap now.
So that led you to other hip hop as well.
Well, K-hip hop, Korean hip hop, some of it, yeah.
Okay.
And then now they also do like Korean R&B, like back in the day, our R&B.
Oh yes, like
There was
the,
like,
like
yes.
okay, like the
like
90s.
but that liquor jams, man. Now they have that liquor vibes because now today's R&B, what they do now in America is like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? That's not R&B.
I couldn't even call it R&B anymore.
No, it's just
It's changed.
it has a lot.
Music has evolved
Yeah.
in general.
So now you go to what you like, and I like that hip hop, that R&B. So like I like this R&B vibe, and like their pop is more poppy than American pop. Yeah,
no, it's very poppy.
It is very
It's
poppy, and I like it.
It's very light and easy on the ear.
It's just so catchy, you know. And like there's this new girl band that just came out now, XG, and one of their songs is just so cool. I really like it. But yeah, no.
I'm getting an education here.
Sugar just released his solo album, and it's fuck. Everybody's like been waiting for it because this is like the final chapter of. It's a trilogy of albums that he did. So this is like the last one. I mean, it's not gonna like mean that he's not gonna make another album, but it's just like the end of the story that he was writing for how many years. Yeah.
You know, bands that usually do their own solo projects, they normally don't get back together.
This is the first time that they're doing their own, because they did like mini albums, like mixtapes basically, through the years that they were together, because they were always busy with like the BTS schedule and stuff like that. And then since Jin was going to go to the military now, they decided they're going to take a hiatus from the group activities and focus on like solo careers.
Yeah.
And then once everybody is like done doing what they want to do, they might get back together. Well, they're not saying they will get back together, but they might get back together.
The chances of that happening is
Don't jinx it. We want to have at least one last concert before they disband.
I'm just based on history and based
I
on.
know, but they've been together for 13 years.
So maybe they tired, like, oh fuck, I can't do this band thing anymore. I want my own identity.
The oldest one is 32. They can handle it. They'll just need to wait a little bit. When he hits 35, then they can quit. Then they can quit. Then it's fine. Yeah.
So are you going in summer or winter or?
We're going in, we want to go like end of February, March side so that we can see the cherry blossoms as well. So it's going to be like springtime vibes.
Oh.
It'll still be nice, cool, and warm at the same time. Yeah.
I dated somebody who was from Hong Kong. Yeah, Hong Kong.
Yeah, I want to go to Hong Kong, Osaka,
Why Hong Kong?
Tokyo.
It's so city vibe.
Yeah, why not? Just want to see their culture, like the fashion, like the street fashion, whatever. It's nice to go out in the countryside and see that, but I mean, like, I've been to England, I've been to the country. When you see one country, you see them all. It's like,
how dare you?
it's like being on a cruise ship. You see one beach, you see them all. Like,
no,
yes,
it's not the same.
It is the same.
Beaches in Croatia and beaches in Brazil are not the same.
A beach is a beach.
No, it's not.
I've been to the beach in Mexico. I've been to the beach in Bahamas. I've been to the beach in Fiji. I've been to the beach in... what is another place? Anyway, but Australia. A beach is a beach.
No, it's not.
For me, a beach is a beach.
Are you a beach person?
No.
I think that's why.
See, and the only difference is the color of the water, the temperature of the water, the color of the sand.
Like we were on this. Where were we? We were in Croatia somewhere. What's the place called? Makaskar. So the beach over there, you know where the sand, we normally have sand?
Yeah.
There's stones.
But like big stones or small stones,
It's
little
like
rocks?
little, almost like pebbles kind of stones. So
Smooth ones that don't...
it's not comfortable walking to the water.
So it's gonna stab your foot. It's like
Yeah,
pointy
you're like,
that.
ow.
Yeah, no, that's not okay.
Even in the water a little bit, it's still
But
pebbles.
that's like our beach with
And
like
then-
the seashells.
No, it's not the same.
It's the
I can
same.
handle a fucking seashell.
Oh my god, it's sharper than a stone.
It's like people like lay on the concrete and tan instead of on the sand and tan because there's no sand. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
For me, a beach is a beach, bro.
No, it's not.
It is.
Okay.
It's like going to Boulders Bay, you know. Instead of little pebbles, it's a big ass giant.
A rock.
Yeah.
A boulder.
Yes. When are we going to start? Did we start?
We started already.
Oh!
We've been recording the whole time.
But you let me go on and on about BTS.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
That was a fun conversation.
You know, it's now you're gonna show me my obsession. I'm crazy.
The thing is, I thought it was perfect because when I tell people we're starting, then it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, that was perfect. That was organic. That was, and see how we just flowed into your travels.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But now, is there any specific questions you want to ask me?
No, I just want to know. Oh, first of all, I want to know, like, how did you get into the cruise life?
Okay,
Cruise
so
ship life. Sorry.
so when I was like in my early 20s, my aunt actually she was on a cruise ship before.
Yeah.
She was a waitress on one of the cruise lines, and she always used to send us like postcards and letters and stuff like that, and photos of like where she's. I'm like, that's so cool.
Wow.
I mean, it didn't end well for her, but it always stuck in my mind, and I'm just like, you know what, I want to give it a go. So then after high school, I started marketing management, and I'm like, this is not for me. Then I went to go, my mother's like, oh, but you're so good with kids, why don't you go study something with childcare, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, yeah, sure, but I didn't want to be a teacher, but I didn't also know what I wanted to do. Like, you know, you're in that stage when you're young, just like,
Yeah.
okay, whatever, we'll just do whatever.
Yeah.
So then I studied early childcare, and then, you know, got like the 2 years experience, and I was like, no, but I really do want to go on a cruise ship. And she was very reluctant because of what happened to my aunt now. She's like, no, it's not safe and all this stuff.
What happened to your aunt?
She died. Yeah, so
Wait, what?
Yeah, so she went overboard, and they never like found her body or anything like that. So
Holy
that was like
shit.
devastating because she was the youngest of the family. And
Wait, what happened that she went overboard?
we don't know. It could have been a multiple things of like stress from work or like relationship wise.
Wait, so she committed suicide?
We don't know.
Oh, so you don't know if it was like
We
a storm
don't know
or...
if someone like if she
pushed her.
jumped or it was an accident, anything like that.
Holy
Because back
shit.
then, like the cameras on like the cruise ships were only limited of where you can position them.
Oh.
So only footage of her going outside was like just her walking in the passage and then going outside, but not her coming back.
Oh, shit.
So yeah. So
Yo.
that was like very like hectic because I remember like that day when my mom got the phone call and it was just like that was like the worst, not the worst thing, but for my grandmother at the time who was in early Alzheimer's, like she just went downhill after that when she heard that, and it was just like, because imagine you being a parent and you losing a child,
Yeah.
you don't want to go before your kids,
Exactly.
right? So it's like the worst thing that could ever happen, shame. So my mother was very reluctant about me doing it, and like, the more I kept on telling her, but I'm not like, you know, it's like,
Yeah.
at least let me do it once and see. If I don't like it, I can always come back. And she would always say, if it's not for you, you know you can always quit. If it's not for you, you know you can always quit. And that was like when I was 25, so we went through like an agency. This woman had her own agency, whatever, and then I went to did the application, did the interview. She's like, yeah, the only thing you have to do is pay for your own plane ticket. And I mean, a plane ticket from South Africa to the States was like super expensive, and it was a one-way ticket. So back then it was like 8,000. Now it's like what, 10,000, 15,000 rand a ticket. So we're like, oh, shit, man, that's like, I'm like, no, it's okay, I'll like pay you back, you know. And I made our way. We did the medical, got all the paperwork that we needed to do, and then eventually I got there. Only to find out that I was one of the lucky few that actually did make it from her agency, because there was a lot of people from Zimbabwe that she like scammed.
Oh.
Yeah, so she scammed like a lot of people out of like their plane
Whoa.
ticket money and all that, and she just like disappeared. Like, bro.
What the
And it was me and this other girl from Johannesburg. We were like the lucky few that actually made it onto the ship. So I mean, like, thank God I actually did, otherwise it would have been
Shit.
screwed, yeah. So
That's fucked up.
yeah. you hear like a lot of things, like I was like, whoa, bro.
And this agency was like a
It was a legitimate agency. She actually worked for the company that I worked for. and she was in like the guest services department.
Yeah.
So she knew people from like head office and all that stuff. So she was a legit. I just don't know, what happened
Shit.
for her to like do that. And like this other girl was like telling me like, no, all these people were like getting scammed out of their money and stuff. I'm like, that's hectic, bro.
Shit.
So yeah, so then like my first contract, I was on one of the small ships that no longer exist anymore. They're like, after the pandemic, those ships actually went to the yard, yeah, and then they just dismantled it. So yeah, I was on a smaller ship, and then that was like almost 10, yeah, that was 10 years ago. And I've still been doing it now since that day. But there was a time when I did actually quit for like a year. So I resigned for a year. I'm like, let me see what else is there, besides working on ships. Because at that time, that first 5 years, I was like working and making money and stuff like that. But I didn't feel like I was putting down any roots. You're like, when you're moving constantly the whole time. And you're like, okay, my friends are all doing this and they, going through all these milestones, like having kids, getting married, all this, buying houses, getting cars. I'm like, okay, but I want to get a house. I want to get a car too. But because it's not, it was harder for me because it's like, like you're a contract worker basically. So it's harder for you to get like a loan or something if you're on contract and not like a permanent. So it's like that.
Yeah.
So we do work on contract to contract basis, but it's also a foreign country as well. So how are you supposed to get like your pay slips and banking details when you're using a different bank and all that stuff.
Sorry.
But so yeah, it was harder, but and that was also starting to weigh me down. And then so you know what? Let me just see what there is back home. Because I mean, if push comes to shove, I didn't get fired. I left on my own. I didn't leave in a horrible way. I didn't say like, oh, fuck you guys or whatever, It's like, now I just want to see what else is out there. So then for a year, it was a struggle because, I mean, I accomplished some things. Finally got my license. So that was that, and I was doing odd jobs here and there. I had bought my own car cash, but you have that skridong. Your first car is always that. So I had that. But then I was like, okay, but nothing permanent is coming up, and nothing that was paying me well was coming up, and I just kept on getting rejected the whole time.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'm not supposed to be here. Maybe I'm supposed to be that side. So let me just see. Let me try and go back and see how far I can actually take it. Because when I did start it, I had a plan, and I wanted to go through all the levels within my department and see if I can actually meet manager,
Okay.
It was never a thought in the first 5 years, but afterwards I was like, you're getting older now. Let's see. You at least need to at least have some sort of goal. So try it, So then I went back after that, and then I did a different level now within the department, did all that, and then I started my training for middle management, and that was when the pandemic hit.
Shit.
So so then everything just stopped, So we thought, okay, no, we're only gonna be out of service for 6 months. And 6 months turned into a year into 2 years. You were like, oh my god, when are we gonna get back? And those 2 years were the worst. I thought being at home for a year, not finding a proper job was nothing. But being at home for 2 years by force and you had no other options, it was terrible. It was awful. And I got a job at a what do you call those? It was something in Century City. It was a telemarketer kind of a thing. Yeah, customer service basically. And I was like, oh my god, this is not my jam. I can't picture myself sitting from a 9-to-5 job, sitting in a little cubicle in front of a computer on the phone, listening to people. It's I can deal with that when I'm on the ship because I'm not doing just that, But
wow.
It was and that was the first time I ever experienced anxiety.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was the first time I experienced anxiety, and I was just no. And then after that, because now it was at that time when everything was starting to slowly come back, so they were asking for people to come back to reopen different ships now and see what if they can actually resume sailing. Like nothing had started yet; they were still waiting, but they wanted to get people on to get ready for when it was like, okay, they say go ahead, boom, whatever. So I was still working at the time, and then I was just like, you know what, I can't anymore. I didn't have any money to actually get because I needed to do my medical, get my first aid and all that stuff because it had expired. But I didn't have any money to do that. So I had to figure out to make a plan now. My mother's like, no, I'll help you out. And my sisters, like two of her friends, are like, no, it's okay. We'll get you. You can always pay us back. So I was like, and I sent an email and said like, yeah, I can get ready by this time, blah, blah. And they gave me like a ship. And I was like so happy.
Wow.
It's like after all that time.
Amazing.
Yeah, all that time. It's like, yeah. And to go back, like everybody was like so excited, especially when you find out like you're going to be on a ship where you met people from previous contracts, you know, and like to find out that they were also doing okay. Like, yes, you keep in contact with each other, but it's like what were you doing? You know, everybody was just sitting and waiting. And then, I think 50% of the people didn't come back because they had all found other things. Especially people from like England. It's so easy for them to get jobs, like honestly. And the Philippines, most of them also came back. But then I would also see like on my social media how people were getting married and having babies. I'm like, in a pandemic.
In a pandemic.
In a pandemic, you're gonna get
That's
married. You're gonna get married and have a baby. I'm like, how do you even meet someone?
That's in a pandemic.
I'm sitting here inside holding my thumbs and people are going out and meeting me. I'm like, first of all, how? I don't understand, but okay, you know, if you fall in love with the person's eyes, good on you.
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember that.
But I was like, no, I was just too focused on like surviving. And you know, people were, they were like naughty, you know, going out without masks and they were just carrying on whatever. I even heard some of my friends having parties. I'm like, y'all are getting COVID. And I don't want to be part of that. So, no, thank you.
In the pandemic.
But it's true. And then now, like, even like my cousins, they had kids, you know. These were the pandemic babies.
There's a lot of pandemic babies.
There's a lot of pandemic babies. Especially if you were with someone before, you know. So what else are you going to do inside? Not watch TV.
K-dramas.
Nah, there's only so much.
Squid Games is popping in the pandemic, yo.
If you watch a rom-com, a K-drama rom-com, like you just see, Sarah, I love you. Baby. You're gonna fall in love again. And then you're gonna have your pandemic baby. But yeah. So some of the people like didn't come back, and I was like, no, good for them if they could lead them to other things. But no, we were like so happy. Because first of all, the first week we had to quarantine. Yeah. Because we got the vaccine. And then it was mandatory to get the vaccine now before because we're going to be dealing with so many guests. Okay. And then we quarantined after that. And it was like 10 days in quarantine. We got guest cabins. Ugh!
Was it nice?
So nice! It was like a paid holiday because you still get like a half pay, you know? Like you didn't start, you still get half pay. Yeah. And I had a room with a balcony and they brought your food
and
to
you,
bro. And it's like, you know, free Wi-Fi and everything. Because the ship I was on was out of LA. So it was in Long Beach. Was it Long Beach?
California?
Yeah, California. Nice. Like, so we were like there. And like the terminal had free Wi-Fi. So the first day we got there, it was like all chill, just, you know, getting situated and stuff. The second day, I suffered so bad because that's when the vaccine hit me. Oh. So I had like this blinding migraine. You couldn't get out of bed. Like my head felt so heavy, you know, like everything was like, you know, I was just like, oh, I can't move, I can't get up, whatever. So that 24 hours, that was the first day, thank God. The second day, I was fine. I was enjoying the rest of my quarantine. I had the biggest TV ever. I was just, you know, I was just like YOLOing and stuff. So, like Wi-Fi, whatever. It was really nice. And then we had to like get back to work and it was nice seeing everybody, obviously the masks and stuff like that. But yeah.
Oh, you were still wearing masks though?
We were still wearing masks. Okay. So...
wait, when in the pandemic was that? Which year? Was 2020?
That was like the second
year. It was 2021.
I think so.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. because that was like still when stuff was like still, everything was like still, the vaccine had just rolled out, basically, yeah.
Okay.
So I think it was a couple of months after that.
Is that the vaccine in America just rolled out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I had.
Because they did it much earlier than us.
Yeah. I think it was Pfizer first and then Johnson and Johnson.
Oh, okay.
And then there was another one that also came out.
Moderna one.
Yes, the Moderna, but there was another one that it was like, don't do that one, don't do that one.
It
was like the fourth one. I can't remember what it was. But anyway, so we had to now get the vaccine in order to now continue our contract and stuff. And me, I'm scared of needles. A needle was this big.
Really?
Yes. And we were in like the terminal. And I'm watching it, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't do this, I can't do it. It's like, no, you need to. And I'm like, it's like, it's okay, it's going to be quick. I'm like, no, the needle's this big. I'm going to feel it's going to touch my bone. I can feel it. That lady stuck the needle in. I was like, it just echoed out of like this whole dome. I was like, oh my God, yeah. And then we did that. And so everybody had to do it. Even like, if you had it at home, good for you. Because I know it wasn't available to us yet.
Yes,
by the time I left, it was just there. So I got that. And then we were like getting things together, cleaning out like our areas that we were in charge in. So everybody was busy. But it was, again, like there weren't any guests because we couldn't have guests sailing yet. So we were just basically waiting. Because they still had to pass this law now that said we can start sailing up now again, but only till we can't have like the ships at full capacity, so it needs to be like at least 60 or 70% full, so that people can still social distance and all this stuff. So it was like a lot of things had changed, because before my department we worked with kids, right? So before we were open throughout the whole day from like morning until evening, like early like we opened up at 8 a.m. and then we close at 1 a.m. in the morning. So we're basically open whole day.
Yes.
And our service is free until 10 p.m. After 10 p.m. we do charge.
Okay.
Yeah. So like parents, that's a nice thing because now it's not just like a vacation for the parents, it's for the kids as well. It's like a little summer camp on board, you know, and they can come and do activities with us and all that stuff.
Nice.
But we couldn't take kids that were unvaccinated.
Okay.
Because it was like closed area, and we didn't want it to be too congested, and we had to like separate, social distance the kids as well, you know. So there was a lot of complaints about that as well. So we had to like think now, we need to position this here and do this, and we had to like change how we're going to do activities, how we're going to run it, because there was a lot of like contact stuff, and you know, back then, like even if you touch on, you must wipe it. So it was a lot of changes that we had to like still deal and go through and all that stuff. But it was different, and we had like sessions that we were open and closed, so we had closing time enough to like clean and then open again and then clean and then open again like that. So all that. So everybody had gotten used to it because that was like the good life. It was like, oh wow, no longer open like whole day, you know. So we're not gonna like because our working time, we obviously work like from 8 to 10 hours. So maximum is like 10 hours, but we have like breaks in between, you know. And then we do get like paid like overtime and stuff like that. But yeah, everybody was like working like a certain, like maybe like 6 to 7 hours. It was like, this is like the best, you know. And before we even had the guests, we were working that, but we could take our breaks whenever we wanted to, you know. We had full reign of like guest area, so we could go, like they had like all the specialty food places open for us and stuff. We had like the whole area, like the pool area, it was like a nice open area. That is where our crew lounge was. So because it was so big and open, everybody could like social distance in the open air, right? So we had that big area for us, and it was like this is like amazing. Like when do you actually get the chance to like go out at night, unwind under the stars, you know? It was like really nice. So we enjoyed that. We even had like a silent disco night once because they were rolling out that as well for the guests. So we did that. It was like the best. But you had to keep your mask on. And like the only thing is like if you're dancing, you're like sweating and you're like so, especially like headphones with the mask. I was like, bro, and I kept on pulling my mask down and they were like, you're not doing it. Like,
but you can't hear me.
I'm like, guys, I'm trying to enjoy myself. You're like killing my buzz. I'm jumping up and down. I'm dancing. And I'm just like, But it was really nice. Like, that part was nice, you know. And then we had to get used to, because I think it's like 2 months with no guests. And then we opened up again. Now we had to get used to having guests there.
Wow.
And then from having all that freedom to like being, shuffled down back to our little crew area again, you were like,
Just going back now, like you said in your early 20s you started.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were consistently doing it from then till the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
Really? How many years was that?
How much was it? So then it was like the 5 years that I was there, and then that year break, and then it was still maybe a year or two I went back to then before. Yeah. So it was 2 years before the pandemic started. So that was like 7.
7 years. So yeah, I can imagine like from doing that to just doing nothing. Sure, that's heavy.
Exactly, yeah.
What is your job on the cruise ship?
So I work with in the kids area. So it's like I said, it's like a summer camp with in the boat. So we have like our own little separate areas. It's like it's a daycare. I mean, yes, we look after your kids, but in a daycare they do whatever they want, right? So we have specific times and activities that we have to do with them. So like every 30 minutes to an hour we do something different. So say now this first 30 minutes we're going to do arts and crafts. Okay guys, we're going to make beads, we're going to do loom bands or whatever, we're going to paint, something like that. And they're like, okay, sure. Then we have a schedule saying exactly what we're going to be doing. Then after that arts and crafts, okay, once everybody cleans up, we're going to do like active activities. So we're going to play like interactive games, like a ball game or something, or we do charades or whatever, it's fun. And then we also have themed activities for them. So we'll do stuff like that. So I was part of like the staff that the activities were looking after the kids and stuff like that. So that I did that for 5 years, and I took that year break. And then when I went back, I moved from the younger age group to the teenagers. So then now I was in charge of teens. So with teens it's a little bit different because now you can actually communicate with them and ask them like, okay guys, what do you want to do? Do you want to do this? This is what we're going to be doing now. So it's a lot more controlled. Whereas if you look with the little kids, you're struggling. You're like, come on guys, we're going to do this. Like, yeah, but I don't want to do this. It's like, yeah, but this is what we're doing now. If you don't want to, it's okay. Because sit over there, you can watch the others. And if you feel like you want to join, you can join, With the older kids, I was like, okay, guys, do you want to do this? They're like, no, we want to do this. It's like, okay, but then we're going to go back to that. And like, yeah, sure, So it was like a compromise. It was like, or you could be like, if you guys do this with me now, I'll give you extra time or video games or something. They're like, yeah, sure, let's do it. So you can always do that with them. So you can also have conversations with them, get to know them, like find out where they're from. You ask a 6-year-old, where you from? My mom's house.
What? What did you say?
Like you ask a 6-year-old, where you from? And it's like, from my mom's house.
Oh, wow.
Where's your mom? Like, where's your mom's house? United States. Okay, You ask a 13-year-old, 14-year-old, they were like, oh no, I'm from Ohio or Arkansas or something. Like, oh, that's cool. And you're like, awesome, is that where the cornfields are? I don't know. So it's a lot of different places that they also come from. Like you can be in a different home port, but people will fly in from different places that's closest to there. So the last ship I was in, it was out of Port Canaveral, which is in Florida. And then the nearest port from there is like also Miami. So a lot of people go to Miami because most of the ships are in the Miami port. And it's like the biggest ship is in Port Lauderdale over there. One of our biggest ships is there, and then 2 other smaller ships as well. But everybody wants to come on the newest ship, so they go there. But that port is the most boring as home port. So if you walk outside, you have to take a taxi to get here, to get there, Or it's in like different home ports. If you just walk, it's like a cafe here, or you can walk into downtown, or just like a short, like you can see downtown or something. But everybody wants to go on the big ship. So
How long are the cruises normally?
It depends. So there's different itineraries. So if you're gonna go into, let's say you go to Miami, so there's like 6, 7 of our ships there. So then you're gonna look through and see like, oh, maybe I've been on that ship already. I'm gonna try a new one. you're gonna see like, okay, this one is a 5-day cruise or a 7-day cruise. They can also pick like, I only want to go away for the weekend, so I'm gonna go on a 3-day cruise. And a 3-day cruise is like a booze cruise, just as a cruise to nowhere. So the ship like just goes out to the circles around the sea for 2 days and then comes back again. Yeah, you just like see you don't.
There's one over here like that, the Cape Town to nowhere.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard of that.
So we call it the booze cruise because all you do is you just drink.
It,
Yeah.
eat it.
Exactly. That's it. So people just want to go away for the weekend. It's like the cheapest cruise ever.
Is it?
And they go there for the 3 days and they're back again on Monday at work. Then you have like 3-day, 4-day, 5-day, 6-day, 7-day cruises, 8-day cruises, 10-day cruises, 14-day cruises. So yeah,
what's the longest stint you've been on the ship? Like
the longest cruise I did was a 14-day cruise. We went to Hawaii, which was like really nice. Yeah.
How's Hawaii?
Very nice.
Is it?
Yeah. Beach is a beach.
How dare you?
So, but the beach was like really nice. I could say like, oh, I put my feet in, Hawaiian Ocean. So that was nice.
How long do you get to spend like when you dock over there?
It depends on, because we also work on a rotation of shifts. So we work on shifts, we also work on a rotation. So like you will see if I'm early port, which means I'm working when I'm docked. So when we dock, I'm working from the morning until the afternoon perhaps, and then I have like the evening off.
Oh,
so then I can go do whatever I want, but I can't get off the ship because I'm working.
Okay.
So then if I'm doing like babysitting shift, I'm gonna have like the day shift off and I work the evening.
Okay.
So if I'm not port manning, which means if I can't, like port manning is like you can't get off the ship because you have duties in case there's an emergency. So if I'm not port manning, I can get off and I can go enjoy outside basically.
Nice.
And then you get like the middle shift where you get a little bit of time off in the morning. You work that middle afternoon shift and you get a little bit of time in the evening, like that.
Nice.
So it all depends on what you're working.
Yeah.
But it's different for different departments. Because like in housekeeping and the restaurant, their shifts are also completely different to ours, So yeah, it
makes
depends.
sense. So it's what it sounds like is mostly America that you kind of do.
Yeah, so we mostly do Mexico, Bahamas, sometimes we do like the Panama vibes as well. Yeah. Jamaica we also sometimes do. So it's that side, the Caribbean basically.
Oh, nice. How's the Caribbean like?
It's the Caribbean. It's nice. I like Mexico. My favorite port is Mexico. Like Mexico is really nice. Like the water is really nice.
Yeah.
They also have like the port that we go to, like everything is there, and you have like the resorts and stuff that you can go, so it's nice.
And the beaches.
So I go to a resort and sit in a pool, and the beach is like right there.
Wow.
You can get out of the pool and jump in the ocean.
Okay.
Yeah, but I will sit in the pool.
And the people?
The people is nice. Like I don't speak Spanish, so if like someone comes up to me and they be like "Hola," I'm like, I don't know. Like when I was doing, we have this duty where you work on embarkation day. That's like the start of the cruise.
Okay.
And then like the guests come up to you and they ask you questions like, what do I do now that I'm on board? Can I go to my room? Can I go eat? What do I do? And you have to like direct them.
Yeah.
So when I was on a ship out of Miami, I had that duty, and then this one lady just comes up to me, starts speaking with it. I'm like, I don't speak Spanish. And she said, no español. I'm like, no. She's like, hey, but you. I'm like, girl, do I look Spanish? No.
That's funny.
I mean, to me, I don't look Spanish, but like they think like I'm Spanish. I got a lot of that. Like people were saying I look very Dominican.
Oh.
Yes. I looked at another Dominican girl. I'm like, not. But okay, maybe that was when I had a tan.
Okay.
Now probably not. But back then, probably, I don't know. But yeah, I would say like this other bartender guy also asked me like. He also just started speaking to me in Spanish. And I'm like, oh, South African. Yeah. He's like, I thought you were Dominican. I'm like,
wow.
No.
Maybe you got some roots over there.
Don't know. I doubt it. But, they don't have like that mix like we are, So like I got a lot of my teens saying I was light-skinned black.
Okay.
So they got a lot of people saying I was light skin or I was like Dominican or whatever. So I'm like
light skin black.
It's like, nah, bro, I'm a South African colored.
There she go, the light skin, yo.
And you can't say colored, You can't say colored, but they must like offensive.
Whoa.
we're like telling African Americans like colored. They're like, you can't say that.
So what you say, mixed race, or what do you say then?
To be polite, but I'm like, okay, guys, in South Africa, you can say colored
Yeah.
because I mean that's my race. You
Yeah.
know, it's also like a culture that we
Yeah.
love as well. So yeah,
So how would you say? How would you identify then?
colored.
No, but like
They
if-
were like, oh, I'll be like, no, I'm colored. They're like, no. Then I'll explain to them. They're like, oh, okay. Then I'll be like, but I'm colored. Like, when you so can't say it. Okay, mixed. I'm mixed.
okay, so they would call you mixed
Yes.
then.
But
Okay.
then they were like, okay, so then if you mix, who's white and who's black, your mom or your dad? I'm like, but that's not how it
Yes.
So it's, the
Yeah.
concept of mix is
yeah,
very
it's completely
different.
different. Yeah.
So if I say mix, one of my parents has to either be black or white.
Yes,
I can't say
yeah.
no, they're both mixed.
Mm.
Then they're like, okay, but which of their parents are like no, their parents are
Yeah.
mixed as well.
Yeah.
So it's a lot
Yeah.
that they don't get it,
Yeah.
you know,
They-
until everybody's colored.
I guess you have to like live here to experience that,
Yeah.
to understand it.
Because like one of my closest friends that I met on board, he's African American, and then I had to explain to him because you always ask me like, so you mixed? So I'm like, no, I'm colored, and I had to explain to him, and then he's like, no, you mixed. Like, no, I'm colored, and he's black, and he's like, you can't say. I'm like, yes, I can because I'm colored.
Yeah.
So like, our joke that we have is like, he was like, oh my god, my bougie mixed South African friend, and I'm like, no, you're bougie colored South African friend. He's like, yeah, because you're colored.
I did the colored in there.
Yeah. So I had to like
Yeah.
give it like a full explanation. So I'm like, so he got it. So he was
Okay.
like cool with me saying I'm like colored and stuff like that. Now it's like a joke. So
The people that work alongside you, are they also mostly American or?
you don't get a lot of Americans
No.
because for them the pay is not that great, and they also have to pay taxes.
Oh,
So they have to pay that, that income
okay,
tax. It's like
yes.
working here, like you have to give
Yeah.
what's now for your taxes and
Oh,
stuff
so
like
there's
that.
no real
yeah.
benefit for them.
Exactly.
I got you.
But you do get those that be like, oh, maybe they live like, in the country or whatever. So this is like exciting for them, something new. So you do get like, so far, like now there's a lot of Americans on board, yeah. And then I've met at least like, last contract alone, like 5 Americans that worked on board. And I was like, wow, that is a lot. But then again, South Africans used to be scarce on board as well. We like the fleet was huge, so we were all over the fleet, you know. And then if you go onto a ship, maybe you're like the 4th South African person on that whole ship, and there's like 1,000 other crew members, you know. And like last contract, I was like, oh my god, there's like 10 South Africans. We were like a whole gang. It's like now we have our own mafia because we were like literally in every department.
lot.
And I was like, oh my god, they're growing.
People.
Yes. And last contract was also the first time that I actually, not the first time, but it's like the second time I had another colored in my department.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we were like besties.
Is-
we were like open with it. We were using like slang and everything, you know. We were like making fun of people and all that stuff and like skinnering vibes. So, and then my roommate was also South African as well. And then his roommate was also South African.
Whoa.
So we were like, whoa, there's 2 colors and 2 whiteies. We were like, yeah, we're gevaarlijk. Yes, we used to like go out drinking, and then like the one of us is like shake his head, he's like, you know what this sounds like? Klinkt soos nog. I'm like, yeah, let's go. It's just safe, bro. Like every single night. That was nice. That was like, for me, that was like lekker.
Nah.
And then we just kept on, we just met more and more and more. So that, like every time, like my friend would be like, oh yeah, he's South African also. I'm like, are you serious? Like in the bar, in the casino, I was like, yeah.
That's cool, man. You see your own people.
Yeah. Before
nice.
it was just.
It feels like home.
I met on my second contract. I met another girl from Malmesbury.
Really?
Yes, and she was like the first colored I'd met on board. And like when I started, like everybody was like, "Oh my god, there's a girl in the spa that looks just like you." I'm like, "No, I don't think so." And they're like, "Yes, you're gonna see." And then we met each other and we looked at each other and we're like, we do not look alike. She's like, I know. And then we were like started talking and stuff like that, and then we just became like best friends. And till today we're still friends.
Wow.
Yeah, so I did my second contract with her, and I did another contract. We went to the same ship again after that, and then she had quit ships and done something else, and then she went to yachting, and now she's in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, nice.
So she's doing like something else, but we're still like
Still in touch.
best friends.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
And it was just so funny because like people were like, "Is that your sister? Is that your sister?" And I'm like, "No." But we do live close to one another, and we all colored. And it's like, yeah, but
It's
still
like,
today,
that's
we're
your
still,
sister.
yeah.
That's
Still
it,
today.
man.
Oh yeah, that was like 8 or 9 years ago. And we're still
Really?
friends, yeah.
That's dope, man.
Yeah, she has the
What a
same birthday
connection.
as my mother. We go to the same church. So,
That's so cool.
So I was
Mom's
like, yeah.
Betty representing.
oh, she moved now to Langebaan, so
No, nice. Langeband's nice.
yeah, very nice house there.
How long is your contracts normally?
It's the minimum is like 6 months. If it's like a long contract, 6 months, but you can extend it to like 8 months.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do you
8 to 9 months.
do you get homesick sometimes?
Sometimes, like I used to back before, but now I got so used to it. You know, like this is the longest vacation I've ever had.
How long has it been?
Because normally it's like 2 to 3 months.
Yeah.
So now this vacation I had is like 4.5 months. So I got
Is it?
home at the end of February. Yeah, so I still have like 2 more months to go.
Did you want it to be that long?
I needed it to be at least 3.5 months because I needed to renew my police clearance and my CPR and my medical. So that
Okay.
takes time, especially with the police clearance.
How long does it take
3
normally?
months, bro. That's so slow.
So wait, you had to fill out the form and then send it in?
Yeah,
and
because
they
I had
have
to go to the police station, do the fingerprints and all that, and they send it now to Pretoria head office. If I was living in Joburg, it would have been quicker. But because the head office is in Pretoria, so they send all that paperwork there.
But they can send it overnight.
I'm not going to pay for overnights.
No, but even if you send it via post,
Yeah,
it's like a few
I only
days.
just got like the message, I think, a month ago saying it's processing.
Wow.
So now they still have to like
It takes
send it
that
back.
long. And the
yeah.
CPR training, or was it
I
the test?
did
or-
it. It's like you have to. It's 3 days. So I normally do it at SafeNet. They're like the best. So
Okay.
you do it for 3 days. First aid, basic first aid level 1. That's all I need, and then CPR for child, adult, and infant.
Okay.
So I have to do that. So for my department, that is a given. I have to know how to do CPR
Okay.
and like first aid basically. And then I'm doing my medical soon in May.
Okay,
Yeah.
so they put you through medical tests, or how does that work?
Yeah, it's like a full blood work, everything, physical, see if you're healthy, all
Okay,
that stuff.
so just
yeah.
a normal doctor's visit, they do a physical according to
Yeah.
requirements, and they send
Yeah,
your blood
you
work.
need to be like a
Okay.
certain weight. You can't be overweight or anything like that because then you have health issues, you know,
Oh,
diabetes and all this other stuff. Anyway. But yeah, so it's all that I had to do. So like 3 months, 3.5 months for me is enough. But when I checked like what was available, like what ships was available for me, they didn't have anything for the time frame that I wanted.
Okay.
So before I left, I put in a request for 3 ships, and then they didn't give me the ship that I wanted. And I really wanted to do the ship out of New Orleans because that's
Okay.
like my favorite home port.
Really?
Yeah, so New Orleans is the bomb, bro. Like the
Is
people are so nice. Like the
I
mall
hear
is
things
right
about
there.
them,
Yeah,
yeah.
like you can. It's like a 10-minute walk from the port to the French Quarter because the French Quarter is like right there. So you can go to like, you know, like Bourbon Street, like
Okay.
that whole section there is like right there. You have to walk through like a strip mall basically to get to the French Quarter. And like all the restaurants and cafes and everything is there. It's like my favorite port.
Is
Like
it?
I want to do like a 2-week vacation in New Orleans.
Wow.
Yeah. So hopefully like after Korea, when I go back on board and in
Yeah.
that vacation time, I want to do that because there's like a
Nice.
couple of people in the US I want to see as well. So I want to do New Orleans, New York. I want to go to the Grand Canyon. My one friend is also asking me to like come to, oh God, where is she from? Arkansas, something with an A, Arizona. It's Arizona.
Arizona.
Yes,
Okay.
Arizona. This was the desert, no?
Yes.
Yeah. So there. So she lives there. So she really wants me to go there.
Nice.
I told her, yes, if we do like a whole road trip vibe, I'm there. Like
That
that's
would
what I
be
really want to
awesome.
do. Yeah. But I really want to see the Grand Canyon. My friend's like, why do you want to see a hole? I'm like, bro, it is a big hole. It's not just any
You want
hole.
to see a hole?
It's a big land hole. So it's just something it's
Yeah.
majestic, it's a natural thing you want to go. It's like going to Niagara Falls. Why do you want to go to Niagara Falls? It's just falling water. But people go.
Yeah, it's not, you can't just say it's falling water.
It's falling water off of a cliff.
Yeah,
it's water
but
going off of a cliff.
It's still beautiful though.
So is the big hole.
It's like going to Kimberly's Hole.
I've never been to Kimberley's Hole, but that's like a
Okay.
round hole,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I
The
think
Grand
so.
Canyon's just like a straight hole.
It's the straight hole.
I don't know. It's a canyon. That's
Dude, you did your research.
Yeah, it's just,
A canyon is more like a bowl.
Yeah, but it's bigger and wider.
Yeah,
It's grander.
it's huge.
Yeah. So when you watch those westerns,
Yes.
and I want to see a tumbleweed also. So I want to go to Las Vegas.
I've seen a tumbleweed out here. Like
It's
in
not the
Africa.
same. It's not the same.
It's a weed that tumbles.
In the street, but you want to see a western tumbleweed in the
western.
desert. Yeah, like that.
and they have to play the music though.
Yes.
They have to play that music. They have to.
That one, yeah. So, but I want to do that. So New Orleans is like on the top of the US tour, basically.
Okay.
And it's really nice. So they didn't give me that ship, but instead they gave me something else, like my second choice, basically.
Which was?
It was, where was it out of? It was out of a smaller place. It wasn't New Orleans though, but it was a bigger ship. And okay, the cruises was longer, so I didn't want to do shorter cruises. I wanted to do like at least a 6-day, 7-day itinerary, because short cruises is a nightmare.
Really?
Especially with, like my position now, because I have to do like the scheduling and the all that stuff, like the activity schedules and stuff, and like you need that time to do it, because if
Yes.
you have short cruise, you have that much time to do it, and then you need to because you need to do it cruise by cruise by cruise. It's like if people cruise and then you have to like do it again from over.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
so it's like
gotcha.
starting over.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Heavy.
all that admin work, you need time. So I wanted to do a longer cruise so that you have time to do all that.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to do like a smaller ship also, because the last ship I was on was so big and it was so busy
many
all
people?
the time. It was the biggest, like 3,000,
Shit.
6,000, yeah.
6,000.
Yeah, it was the biggest.
Sheesh.
So I just wanted a break. I was like just so like when I came home, I was just so exhausted, like so mentally and physically drained. Like honestly, when I got home, I just for that whole month I didn't want to do nothing. I didn't want to like just decompress.
yeah.
I'm only feel like I'm getting back to myself now,
Sure.
Like I just want
Do
to
you
lay and
just veg out?
yes, and just do nothing. Like I didn't want people asking me anything. Don't ask me for anything. Don't like talk to me if I don't talk to you. Just like leave me.
Don't touch me.
Yes, that's because people were constantly asking me for things for like 6 months straight. Like you don't get. There's no weekends off. So you get
Shit.
time off, but like you have to work every single day for that 6 months.
Do you ever get cabin fever?
Oh, I love being inside. I love being inside. Like me, when I walk into my cabin and I see it's like, oh, it's so nice and cozy. I like that. Like some people hate it.
You don't feel ever cooped up that you're on a ship the whole time?
When we were on the way home, we were on the way from the pandemic when we like shut down. They sailed us home. So some people got nice cabins with like windows and balconies, all that other stuff. Some people got like indoor cabins. And you heard a lot of story of people getting like, oh, they just wanted to go outside. And we only were allowed outside for like 1 or 2 hours a day, but there was like 1 hour, then you're inside, and another hour you can come outside and get fresh air.
Okay.
I was the happiest person because I was
Is it?
indoors in my bed watching TV. It's like I was
Wow.
just loving the life, I never had an issue with that at
Wow.
all.
I knew somebody that worked on a ship and they had this breakdown
Yeah,
because it was so intense. Wow. So you just love it.
I do. Yeah, like I can enjoy being outside. I can enjoy being inside. You have to be adaptable. You
Yes.
need to know how to be like flexible and adapt and whatever. So I can adapt to whatever environment. It's fine. It's like being on one ship and then they can easily tell you like, okay, you're gonna get transferred to another ship.
Okay.
They're like, okay, sure, pack my bags and boom, go.
Yeah.
That's what your job entails you to do.
Yes.
There were like a couple of people where they're like, okay, so you're getting transferred. No, but I have so many friends here, and I just got
They get so
comfortable here.
attached
Yes,
and-
it's like, I understand where you're coming from. I know it's nice. You have this vibe and stuff like that, but It's like starting a new contract. It's like
Yes.
ending this contract, going on vacation, starting a new contract. But instead of having the vacation time, you just go into a different ship. So you need to get used to that. And they were like, no, I don't want to. And I'm like, this,
Yeah.
you need to,
Be able to just.
you in this environment where you have to constantly just go with the flow because it can change at any time. You
Yeah.
know, if they need people on one ship and we have more people on the ship, they will send the extras there. And it won't be like, it'll just be like a random pick. They'll just like look at who's there and shoop, like that. They
Wow.
won't like, oh, this person's been here longer, so we'll leave them there and we'll take the one,
It's
you
not
know?
like, how do you feel about moving
Yes.
on shit? It's just
They won't
like,
always give you your opinion,
yeah.
you know? I mean, you can say no, but then they'll be like, okay, so I know this person's not willing to, you
and
know,
that leaves
be
a mark on your
flexible.
record,
So, not a mark on your record, but just
Okay.
like a mental note. So,
Yes.
next time, okay, you need something from me. Who's to say I'm gonna give it to you? You know, so that kind of
Yeah.
But you get used to it. You get so used to it. It's fine. Like living out of not a suitcase, but you get used to like packing everything
Yes,
in.
yes.
Yeah. And after each contract, when you have to pack, and you like see like how much that you actually accumulate. You're like, why do I have so much stuff? I came here with 2 bags, and now the stuff that I came with doesn't want to fit in my bag.
Because obviously we go to different ports and
Yeah,
you
you
buy things.
buy,
and,
you like you just don't realize how much you buy. and
Oh, this
stuff.
looks nice.
So it's like,
Nice.
yeah. So you come home with a lot of things. Like I always pack like one bag full of clothes. I'm like, those are the clothes I'm gonna wear. That's gonna be it. And the
Yeah.
other bags, like my toiletries and stuff, I'm always like, because I know for the first 2 weeks I'm not gonna get full pay, so
Okay.
I still want to send money home, so I go and buy like deodorant or anything like that.
Yes.
So I put everything there. But then when I get on board, and obviously the 6 months, and you realize, like, I did not wear the stuff that I did not wear this and this and this, because you kept on buying new things the
Yeah.
whole time. So yeah, and Amazon is your best friend also.
Really?
Which is so dangerous.
But how do they? You want to ship?
Yeah.
How do you?
You can either send it to the port where they have like a locker for your mail, or they can send it to head office, and head office sends it to the ship. So yeah.
Okay. Okay, I got it. Okay.
So yeah. What was I saying
Because
before?
I was just picturing this guy on the Amazon boat. I got a package.
Oh yeah, a thousand packets.
Sheena, I'm looking for Sheena, damn it.
Yes, just throw it. Just throw it. It was just like a crane, like a pirate ship. Put everything on there, and they're like, "Oh, matey, yeah." That should be one of their commercials for
Yeah,
Amazon. We deliver anywhere. Deserted island. It's okay. We've got you.
Kind funny, like yo.
Oh yeah, but Amazon
Paid
is
to see
like,
that.
it's good
Yeah.
though. It's dangerous, but it's good.
What's dangerous?
Amazon.
Oh, because you just spend.
Yeah.
So easy, just clicking.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it's like, you know, when you see dollars and everything is cheaper on there. So you get like this for like $2, that for like $5. Like that's like 12. It's nothing. Blah, 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 blah. Next thing you know, you got like 10 packages, and they're like, there needs to be a limit of how many packages you can get.
Oh wow.
Like, okay, sorry. Yeah, it's so much. Like Christmas time is like the worst. They
Really?
literally had to like tell everybody, okay, guys, maximum packages is 5.
Whoa.
Because everybody was just getting so much for Christmas.
What do you do with all the packages? Like they say, get 10 packages at a time, and then do you keep them or do you ship them home? Or?
No, you keep them. If you have space in your luggage, put it in your luggage. It only
Is it?
depends on what you buy.
Because I was gonna ask you like what do you buy? Is it big boxes or is it clothes or?
Depends on what you buy.
Really?
So yeah, because like in the one port, the grocery store wasn't that close. So people used to get a lot of like the groceries, like detergents and deodorants and stuff
Okay,
sent there.
gotcha.
So I did that most of the time because like I could have. We only went to like Mexico every 2 weeks. And then you can go to the grocery store there and get stuff, but it also depends on if you had the time off.
Okay.
So, like, I always looked at my schedule and I'm like, let me just get it on Amazon. By the time I get back to home port, I have the stuff. It's fine.
With regards to groceries, so you don't eat from the ship's menu.
You can, but like snacks. Like, so
Okay.
you want to get like maybe your favorite chips or biscuits or
Yes,
something like that, but they
pulled
don't
down.
have it
beef jerky.
They don't say. Beef jerky is the worst. It's like
Is
plastic.
it really different?
It really is.
I thought it was the same thing, just called something else.
No.
Wow.
They would be like, it's 100% beef, but it's not. It's like, it looks like plastic. They have like this beef jerky in the crew bar, and they have like a different flavor. So you get like your chili flavor, your teriyaki flavor, your honey mustard flavor. It's like nice flavors. I used to get it just for the flavors, but it felt like I was just eating plastic. Yeah, it's not like when you tear it and you can see like it's meat, you know? And it's not like dry. It's very moist and it's flat. It's like they slice it. Not like stickies that you pull off, yeah.
Sticky kudu or...
No.
Okay.
It's not like that.
I really thought it was like
I
really
just ate it
similar.
for the taste. Like one night we were in the crew bar and all the South Africans sitting in one booth and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get the beef jerky. It's like, but it's not biltong. It's like, just pretend, man.
Just pretend for
We're
a
just
moment.
nubbling, just pretend. Okay?
Do they have like droog voice as well then?
No.
Okay.
Nothing like that. Peanuts and beef jerky or chips. Like you get
Gosh.
plantain chips, you get Lay's, or that's it.
Okay.
Ruffles, glad that's what you must eat now.
Ruffles. What's Ruffles?
Potato chips. But it's
Okay.
like salt and vinegar flavor.
Okay.
Yeah. Looks like Simba chips. It's like crinkle cut.
Okay. Oh, so Ruffles is a brand.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah. But
Got
it's like
it.
that crinkle cut
Yes.
one. Yeah.
Well,
So you get
that's-
that. Yeah. And then I'm like, lust for something meaty. Meaty.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get another beef, whatever. This is the first time that because they know beef jerky, it's not real biltong. I'm not gonna like spoil my South African taste buds or whatever.
Yeah.
They like that. I'm like,
Oh
just,
wow, so what? I'm not gonna spoil my South African taste buds.
I'm like, guys, just try it. Man. Just like,
Yeah.
I know it's not real meat, even though they say it is, but just for the flavor. I'm just eating it for the flavor. They're like, okay. And I also $5 a packet, and it's expensive.
It's expensive.
I'm like, okay, we just get it. Just once a month kind of a vibes. And they're like, no, how dare you make us eat this? I'm like, guys, it's just for the taste. I was so mad. They're like, that is disgusting. Yeah.
Sheesh.
I
Yeah.
liked it for the taste.
Heavy.
It was just for the taste vibes, that's it.
So do you want water?
Oh boy. Oh no, it's
Okay, you got-
cold now. Never mind.
You don't want cold water.
Room temperature.
It's probably a room now, isn't it? Isn't this room that cold?
I'll put it in the glass and I'll let it heat up.
Yeah, that's gonna work. Do you find, okay, you didn't have a problem with cabin fever and feeling, cabin fever, but you find other people also that experience it as well, or is it really bad at times, or?
Well, during the when we were on our way back, when the pandemic happened and we were sailing home, so there was like the airports shut down and stuff like that. So they had to separate all the nationalities now in different ships to sail home. So you get the Europeans going on one ship and they would go Europe way. There wasn't a lot of South Africans, so we were put on a ship with like half of the Indian population. So on their way to India, they stopped in South Africa, dropped us off there, and they went.
Okay.
But there was a lot of people like suffering from depression and anxiety because they were so cooped up. And then there was, I think, 1 or 2 suicides, but not just from like our company, but like all over, all companies on the cruise ship and stuff like that. Because some people they had to deal with the realization, like, what if we don't ever come back? What am I gonna do? And most people's financial situation wasn't like other people's. Like there were people on board where they didn't need this job; they were just doing it for fun. Like their family is well off; they can stay at home for this month and not have to worry. Whereas you get like me, I was like stressing, okay, I have this money saved, but how long is that gonna last me? What am I gonna do when that runs out? Because I still have all these bills to pay. I have a car, I have a house. What am I gonna do? If I don't get a job, I'm gonna struggle. I'm gonna have to sell this and sell that. And obviously most people had to do that, And they were like, some people, they were like really bad. They were living from paycheck to paycheck. So I think people that were like already suffering and going through all of that, they didn't know how to process it, how to deal with it. And you didn't have anybody to talk to because you were alone by yourself in the cabin.
Yeah.
And yes, you had internet to contact your family, but you know how it is. Like if you're having those thoughts already and you already have that mindset, like no one's going to help me, you're not going to open up, So they were like a lot of like issues like that, and there were like 1 or 2 cases where people just. But even before the pandemic,
Really?
yeah, it's not just on like one company, you know, it's like in the cruise line industry. That's what they all have to deal with. But I mean, if you think about it, it's not just the cruise line, it's people back home as well. If you're working in a job that makes you miserable or your life is not going how you thought it was going to go, what are you going to take? And you only think that's the only way out, right? So it really depends on you as a person and how you cope with it.
Yes.
So,
What was that like when the pandemic broke and you were stuck you were in America, right? And everyone had to come back. Like how long did you have to stay on the ship before you could actually come home?
So when we found out that we were gonna stop sailing, everybody was like, I think like a week and a half, just waiting to hear what was gonna happen, because we thought, okay, it's not gonna, it's, you know, like a phase, it's gonna just blow over, we're gonna go back to normal. So everybody was still on board until it hit like the 3rd week, and we're like, oh wait, we're really not going back just yet. So then they started realizing that the airport was starting to shut down because now this virus was spreading. So then they would try to get as much flights as they can, and then I had a flight, but then it was cancelled. So then I ended up staying on board. And then those people that had flights, like I think a couple of days before I got my flight, they had left. So most of the South Africans had left. Whoever had gotten flights, everybody left. Like especially the US citizens, all the US citizens had to get off the ship. So everybody signed off. Those that would stay behind, they were still on the individual ships. And then obviously the company had to come up with a plan on how we're going to get all these people home. Some companies, chartered a flight so that everybody can go, you know. But I think because we were like so big, the fleet was so big, and then majority of the population was Philippines, Indonesians, Indians. So you've got, that's like a big plane, you know, like, companies were really struggling because we just had to kind of refund everybody for the cruises that they couldn't do anymore. There was a lot of money going out. So they had to come up with something else. So then there was like a time where we were like all just sitting in the middle of the ocean. You just see like the whole fleet was there. Like that was the first time ever that the fleet was all together in one spot.
Isn't that freaky?
It was freaky, and it was like, oh my God, it's like you will never see this ever again, you know, like they have drone pictures of it. It's actually pretty cool. But it's like, if you think back then, you were like,
how many ships were there?
How many ships? 28 ships at the time.
Just all in the middle of the ocean,
just there, just like
standing still. Like.
Yeah, we couldn't, because there was like, we couldn't dock because they didn't want us to dock, because then it was like, oh no, it was the crew members that was carrying the virus. So there was that whole thing on the news going on about that. And then we couldn't dock anywhere.
Sheesh.
And
how long was that for?
I think it was like a week.
Jeez.
Just like sitting, because they were still, head office was still trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah.
And then everybody was still on individual. So then they're like, okay, now we need to organize everybody. So now we're going to start organizing, getting people on ships. Like one nationality on one ship. Basically, so we can like take them. Yeah. So then we had to move on my ship. We had to move from my ship to another ship.
Did you have Wi-Fi?
They gave us free Wi-Fi,
did you have to be in one cabin? Or could you move around?
No, one cabin you couldn't move at all. Couldn't go from other person's cabin like that.
You couldn't leave the cabin?
No, you couldn't leave the cabin at all, because it's going to spread the virus.
But so that must have been...
That was like, okay, now you in your own cabin. First of all, me was at the shared cabin with someone who was like, yes, I get my own cabin, that's fine,
so
you know.
So it's positives to that. Okay.
So, and I had a really nice cabin on like I was still in my cabin, and they moved us to guest area because all the guests were gone. So they had to like separate everybody for social distance. Okay. So then I had like an indoor cabin. It wasn't bad. It was still nice. It was still on a small ship that I was on. And then they decided, okay, now we're going to tender everybody to different ships. So we have like the lifeboats. They will put us in a lifeboat.
What?
They will put us in a lifeboat.
I was going to ask you like, wait, what? This tiny boat. Like,
it's not tiny. It's like 150 people can go in one boat.
So it's a big boat.
That's a big lifeboat. So you go on the lifeboat with your luggage.
In the middle of the fucking ocean.
And they to the other boat. You get up there and you're onto that ship and you go to your room like that.
Okay, how do you get onto the other ship? Because obviously the boats, the lifeboat you get in is on the ship, right?
Yeah.
And then lower it and then you move.
There's like an opening on the side, and you have like this little gangway that they put onto the lifeboat, and you just walk across
Okay.
as the ship is going like this. But you're so used to it, it's like
You walk across.
yeah, you just walk across, you carry your luggage, and you just go.
Is it the big walkway, this thing that's
It's like a little bit wider than this table.
You feel safe.
Yeah. Yes, because it's all locked down. It's fine. You're so used to it because, like, if you're on a port where you can't dock, you have to tender out. So that means you go into like a tender boat, and they put the gangway onto the boat, and you just walk across. And
What's a tender boat?
it's like a little lifeboat, but it's not a lifeboat. It's a tender boat. It's like a ferry, but a small ferry. And you get
Okay.
into it, and then they take you to the port.
Okay.
Because the port is so small that big ship can't dock there.
Oh.
Then you have to anchor out in the ocean and then open up the side and then the little boat comes and then you get in the boat and all the guests get in with you and you go to the port and you go and you enjoy yourself, you get back onto the next tender and you come back onto the boat and you go work.
It makes it sound so like it's easy, like it's simple.
But it is so simple.
Fuck, man. It's the ocean.
It's fine. It's like
And you
the
get-
boat is there, like if you see the water, it's like maybe it's like there. So if you fall in, it's fine. It'll catch you and it'll take you out again. But you're not gonna fall in.
that.
If it's too windy and the boat is doing
Yes.
this,
Did
then you won't. They won't. Then we can't tender. Then we can't go.
Did you ever experience seasickness? Or?
No, I don't get motion sickness.
Really?
Yeah.
Never ever.
Never
guy.
ever.
And the other people that work?
Oh yeah, you get people that's been on it 10 years and they're just like,
And they
oh, I'm so
still-
sick. Yeah.
What? So you never really get used to it, or?
Well, because you know, people have motion sickness. So whatever
Yes.
motion it is, they can't handle it. Like
Holy
I've never been motion sickness.
shit.
So it's like car sick, no. Boat sick, no. It's fine. I mean, I've been to Australia during hurricane season, and like you basically the ship is listing like this, and you walking like this. And I was like, fine. Everything is like just doing this. It's like the best sleep ever, though.
So you operate while there's hurricane season.
You can go around the hurricane or through the hurricane. It depends.
You go through her.
It's up to the deck people to decide.
What?
They will look at like
This hurricane looks fantastic. Let's do it today.
Yes,
Captain.
we just won't go into the middle. We'll just go around it or the
Fuck
side, and then yeah.
Has never been cases where hurricane picks up the boat and there you fuck off. Like,
No.
what do you mean?
There's like some if like it's really bad weather and we can't dock, then we won't dock and we'll just go around the circle in the ocean. It's just another sea day, and then we'll just go. But
So you don't feel like, oh shit, there's a hurricane.
we won't stop sailing. Like if we're in the home port, everybody's getting on. It's like, okay, there's a hurricane coming this way. Oh, can I show everybody get on? And we go. Then we can either avoid the hurricane, or we can come back when it's over, or we just go around it like that.
Has there never been any cases where the hurricane has just taken the ship?
No. Because you can't avoid it. That's what all that technology is for.
Fuck that. Mother Nature is Mother Nature.
And there was like really one point I was so mad. I was in Australia and we were gonna go to New Zealand, and you know the Lord of the Rings, right?
Oh yeah?
So we were gonna dock at where the Shire was, basically. Where
Oh,
they filmed
really?
the Shire. So we were gonna go dock there. And we couldn't go because it was so misty and foggy and the ship just could not dock. I was so mad. And we had to like overnight in Auckland, the capital. But we had booked a ticket and everything. We were going to go to the Shire and we couldn't go because of the stupid fog. I was so mad.
Fucking fog.
Fucking foggy bed. I was like, "Ugh!" Of all the times. Ugh. But yeah, I missed out on the Shire. I would have had a picture in
Of course,
Bobo's
yeah.
house, like bro, I couldn't even.
Bobo's house. Okay, so this hurricane thing is nothing for you guys. I was on this ship one time. It was my first time on a cruise. I went to Durban, and I think it was the second or third night. The weather the weather was so bad. The ship was crazy. The ship was all over the place. Like, and everywhere you went, it's like people were sick, man. People were sick. And it was so funny, like, it was just me and my friend going everywhere, and it was so empty. And it was so fun because normally I have to wait for drinks or something, and it's like just me and him.
That's like the best time.
Everyone
You have to go. You have to go when it's really bad weather because then you get like the best service.
It's just disgusting. I was like, yo, everyone's just throwing up everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, if it gets really windy and it gets really rocky, we will obviously tell the guests, like, you guys can either stay, like, it's their choice. You want to go out if you're not seasick, by all means. But we always tell them, hold on to the handrails, you know, just be careful where you walk, mind, watch the step, all that stuff. But it was so funny, but, like, we were docked once, like, in Homeport. We didn't even leave yet for the cruise. And it was just me and a couple of people who were just standing around and we were, like, talking, you know, shit, cup of coffee, whatever. Yeah. And this one guest comes up and she's like, do you guys not feel that? And we were like, what? It's like, I'm so seasick. The ship is moving so much. And we look at each other and we're like, oh, ma'am, we haven't even left yet.
Holy shit.
She's like, but I can feel the ship moving.
Oh, my word.
You literally cannot because the ship is this big. We're docked, we're anchored. We're up against the wall.
I think she's paranoid or something.
Bro, she was like preparing us.
Yeah.
Like, even if it's a big ship, like, you can only feel the engines going on if you're at the bottom in the crew area. Oh. So when we go, you can hear the grrrr, and then we're like going. But even like when we're out at sea, you won't even feel the engine at all. It's only when we get started and we move away from the dock, then you can feel that vibration. That's when you know we're leaving. But after that, it's like smooth sailing. Sure. Like, unless it's really, really windy, you will only feel the ship going like that. But
so you're very passionate about kids?
Yeah. I do like kids. I mean, I don't want any of my own, but I do enjoy working with kids.
Why is that?
Because I work with kids.
So you don't want kids because you work with kids?
No, man. It's just like, you know, when you know yourself, like, do you feel like if you really want to be a parent and you feel like you're ready to be, then by all means do it. I know for a fact, like, it's just not for me. No. I do enjoy kids. I do like spending time with them. I love babies. I love toddlers. I love, like, you know, being goofy with them. Like, you can watch my sister. Like, I will sit and I'll talk to a 4-year-old and we'll have the best conversation. Even what we're talking about, no idea. Yeah. But like the toys and all that stuff, like, yes, you know, I can do it. It's like, I can be funny, I can be goofy, but I can be responsible. I'll babysit your child. I'll give your child in the same condition you left them with, you know, all that. I'll feed them, whatever. But the main point is I can give them back.
Everyone says
yes, I can give them back, you know. So it's like being responsible for another human being is a lot.
It is a lot.
It's a big responsibility. And I'm just not ready for that commitment. I'm really not.
No, the reason I asked because earlier you said, you know, you saw all your friends getting married and having kids. And
it was just like putting that roots down kind of a thing, you know, and just being like, oh, having a home and like starting a life basically, you know, just being at least somewhere instead of just drifting around the whole time. And I mean, yes, I have my family, I have my friends and all that stuff. But I mean, like when I came home, I wanted a place where I could be like, oh, I could just put my head up somewhere and be like, this is my space. I can just be. Yes, yeah. So I had that, but obviously like because of now the pandemic stuff like that, I had to like rent out my house and stuff. So I can't stay in it just yet. And I mean, it works out because yes, I'm getting like an income now, but it's also like, oh, someone else is paying your bonds. You know? So that's nice.
That's a positive.
It is, and like it takes some of that burden off. So like,
and I think it's cool because when you're away, no one's in that house anyway. So might as well get some money from it.
Exactly. So, and I mean, for me, I'm thinking more of like, oh, eventually if I do retire or something, there's always that house is basically my retirement plan. I can also think about maybe getting like another small little flat or something, you know, getting that and maybe staying there and still having the house and eventually once everything is paid off, you can have an income from either one of them, you know, so... I'm thinking more of like long-term investment times. Like now my whole thing is like pay the car finish first. So at least you don't have to have that, you know. So then once that's done, then you have that extra income as well. So yeah, I'm thinking like an adult. That's like adult thinking right there. You have to like think about it, because I don't have a pension fund, you know, so I have to like think of savings. I have to put money aside and think of that as like my pension and putting away every single.
But the house or the flat that you're possibly going to get, or would like to get, that's also a retirement fund. You can always make money from that.
Yeah, true. And I mean, with my company, if there's a certain amount of time that you work, then they do give you kind of like a retirement
Nice.
fund, yeah. But it also depends on what is the position you were in and how much you can get and all that stuff. So hopefully that still applies at the time I decide, okay, I've had enough or
To back
whatever,
it
you know,
up,
yeah. Because it is hard. Like, I do want to be, you know, you do want to have that special someone. And it is a bit harder on ships. I know so many people though that have met their significant others on board from different countries. They've gotten married, they've had kids together, they make it work. You know, some of them are still working on cruise ships. You get a lot of married couples on board. You know, a lot of like couples basically that they link and then they go onto the same ship together, all that stuff. But it is hard to actually find that person that wants the same thing as you. You know, so it's not impossible, but it's just also what you were looking for. So yeah.
So you would like to get married?
No.
No.
Okay. I want someone, but I don't want to get married.
Okay, so you don't want that commitment also.
Yeah, it's just the commitment I'm not ready for. Okay, I'm ready for commitment, just not that level of commitment. That's like another level.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, are you saying there's more of a level than having a child?
It's almost the same level.
so it's like 2 kids.
Yeah, because like
wow, okay,
you can be with someone. You can be with someone for as long as you want, and you can build this life together. But you're not necessarily tied down permanently together, because in an event where you guys do decide to go your separate ways, and it is possible, it could be like 5 years from then, or 10 years, or 20 years from then, you guys feelings change. So when you do decide to like whatever, it's like, okay, no, cool, we'll just, you know, this is yours, that's mine.
Just toss out.
Yeah, whatever we bought together, you split it and you go. There's nothing. Come now, you have to go through the lawyers and all of that, unless it's like really very complicated, you know. And I don't smart for all of that.
Yeah.
And I mean, if I'm gonna be with a person, I will commit to that person. You don't need me to prove to you that I'm gonna commit to you by.
That's so refreshing to hear coming from a woman. You know, it's more men that like I'm like that. I don't want to get married.
If you want to be with me, be with me.
Yeah.
If you don't want to be with me anymore, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'll be heartbroken. I'll be like, oh, that's so sad. But then I'm like, I was fine before I met you. I'll be fine after I meet you, you know.
Wow, that's so refreshing to hear that. I think you're the first woman that actually thinks like that.
I mean, more women should think like that, because there's a lot of women that feel like a man is going to make them complete. And that's not the case. Or a lot of men think that a woman's going to make you complete.
So true.
You need to make yourself complete first.
Yes.
Before
Preach.
you know,
Preach.
you like and like someone shouldn't, like, if you can let someone into your life, you guys it should be a partnership. It should, you know, each side should make compromises to fit each other into your life, you know.
Yeah.
And I've been independent for so long. I'm so used to doing my own thing in my own time, you know. Just like thinking or letting someone in is very hard. I want to like take my time, and my time is so precious. Like, it's like, you know, but you want that someone that's going to want to fight their way in, you know.
Yes.
And I also have to remember, like, okay, but I need to fight my way in for them as well. And I keep on forgetting that. So that's also like something I need to work on first before I can open up. It's really hard. I'm very stubborn.
Yeah, is it? But I think it's also important that you, like, both people need to be happy on their own before coming together. You can't expect somebody else to make you happy. You know, that's not going to work.
Because, like, there's a difference between, like, I want to be with someone and I need to be with someone.
Yes, there's a huge fucking difference.
And I want to be with someone. And I mean, if I don't meet the person that's gonna make me like, then it's like, be like, okay, that's fine. It's not like I need someone, you know. It's like I don't like, if I want to go out and watch a movie, I can call my friends.
Yes.
I can.
Or go alone.
I can go alone. Yes, I often go alone as well. But it's like, if you can't sit alone in a restaurant and be on yourself, then you're not comfortable being on your own.
Exactly.
You know, then you need to look inside and like, okay, bro, what's the deal?
No, but that's so true.
And I like getting into my car and just like driving.
It's
like I'm
no
like, today I just have
no.
let's to go on a long drive. You know. Then I'll go on this long drive and I'll just be like driving for no reason and just listening to music, and then coming it's like, that was so nice, and then going back into my bed and watching my shows, and that's it, you know. So
Yeah, I can relate to that also. I mean, I've been single since Van Riebeek was here. so for me to allow somebody to my space now is like,
Yeah.
okay, you really have to be worth it.
Yes.
You know, you really have to be worth it.
No, it's true.
Sure.
And I mean, you will, and the thing is that it should be on your pace, and yes, maybe they on a different pace, but you need to also communicate that to them,
Yeah.
you know, and like, I will also think like, okay, people can't read your mind.
Yeah.
They can't read your mind. You have to like tell them
them.
what's happening. But then sometimes you're like, oh, I don't smack to talk. Like, I don't smack to tell you. Like, you should just know.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, and I forget that sometimes. Like, you also change over the years and stuff. And the pandemic, like, really did change me as well than from what I used to be, you know?
Okay.
So,
In what way?
like, I don't know, I can't explain it. Like, I'm very, like, cautious now because I just got, like, everything was happening, all these bad things were happening, and then I just, like, you know, like, shut down more than what I was before.
Okay.
So I was very, like, when the first contract that we actually went back on my other previous contracts, we'd be like, oh yeah, let's go out. And I was like fun and jolly, whatever. And I was so open to meeting new friends and people and stuff like that. Like, and this guy was very like, it's okay, I'm in my cabin by myself. I don't need to have friends. I don't have to go out, anything like that. You know,
Really?
yeah. So it's very like very closed off because I got so used to being extra because now I didn't have to go outside because we can't go outside because there's this virus, you know. So
Okay.
you can't go outside. You can only go out to go work and stuff like that.
Yes.
Don't talk to people because you have that. Like now you have this whole mask covering your face, so people you don't have to like smile or
Yes.
do anything,
Yeah.
you know. And I just got used to not smiling, like just walking outside. No smile whatsoever, you know, you like, and then with no more, you're like, hi, hello, everybody, whatever.
Sheesh.
Yeah, it's like, I feel like I'm meaner now than I was before.
Really?
Yeah. Which is really bad. Like, I need to get that also out as well, you know, just like shake
to
it
get that
off.
back.
Yes. So I don't know. It's a process.
Sure.
It's like, I feel like a lot of people have also changed because of the pandemic, but it's everybody's circumstances is different.
True.
Everybody's experience is different. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, a lot of people tell me I look a lot more harder now than what I did before. Yeah. Which is like, oh, I don't need to. But yeah.
Look, sometimes it's a good thing. Sometimes it's just, maybe it's just you being more assertive. You know, sometimes because a lot of people try to take advantage if you're kind and happy and smiley all the time. So I guess it's good to set boundaries,
Yeah.
you know. But unless you're an asshole, that's different.
Yeah, but I think I just built the wall too high and just a bit too thick.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I just need to like at least, you know, chip it down.
You said yes to this podcast very easily, though.
That was like, because in my mind I'm like, oh, just do something different like you
Oh.
haven't done before. Why not? You know, so yeah. If you had asked me like right when I got it home, I would have said no. Yeah. I would have said no because I was very like,
Don't ask me for nothing.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, so you got me at a good time, a good spot,
Timing was
a sweet
perfect.
spot, yeah. So you got me at a good timing, you know. Now it's, I don't know, it's just like in my mind, I just like, even like I spoke to my friend before she went to side, like she was at home for vacation and then she had just left beginning of March. So we had like this whole conversation and I was like talking to her and I told her, you know, this is like how I feel, this is, like I don't feel like myself, you know. And she's like, no, then you should go out, do things that you've never done before, like, you know, try things that's like out of your comfort zone.
Yes.
And I mean, I should be used to doing that because I mean, getting on a plane,
Yeah,
going, it was
on a
like,
fucking
yeah,
ship, like.
you know, and everything is like different. So I was like, okay, now try. And then like obviously the first thing was like, you know, dating. So like try something different. She's like, no, go on dating apps and all that stuff. And I was on all the dating apps. And I did not find one person.
How many dating apps are on there? You went through all
I
of
went
them.
on Bumble, Hinge, Tinder,
Damn.
what is the other one?
lighting it-
Dating.com.
Lighting it up. Like, damn, you've been busy. Like, shit.
So I was on all of that, and then like I was just like, no, 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 no,
And
no,
you just
no.
been swiping left.
Yeah, and then you know what? Like, even I was just reading through the profiles. I was like, no, okay, maybe I just widen the radius. No, 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 no. Yeah, so it was,
Damn.
yeah. And then, I was like, maybe not, Maybe I shouldn't do it like that. Maybe I should go out more. But then even when I got more, and I was like, just tell him to just go like to our normal places. We go wine estates, or go out to eat, or go watch a movie or something like that. I'll walk around the mall. So, man. Like, but this is what I do all the time, and I know I'm there for a specific reason. I'm not for like...
You're not focusing, you're not scanning around.
And then it's like, okay, no, let's go out on weekends. Let's go to like the bars and stuff like that.
Like
you know?
out.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the one time, like, my one friend was recently single, so she's like, let's go. Let's have a girls' night or whatever. And then I went, but then it didn't turn out also great.
Oh.
Because I had taken allergy pills and I was just so tired. I was like,
Oh,
no.
no.
Yeah. So it wasn't like the right timing. And I was still in that mindset of like, I don't want to go out and do stuff.
I don't want to be...
Yes. And then we also went to some questionable places, and I was just like,
Questionable. Please explain for 2 marks.
I was like, I don't want to be in this area. I don't like these people,
wow.
So yeah, it was very gam, to say the least. So, yeah. So I was like, this is not my vibe.
Yeah. What friends do you have that's taking you to these places?
She was just like, let's just go.
Okay.
Like, yeah. It was like she wanted to go to her normal place that she used to go every weekend. But on that specific night, at the end of the month, they decided to have a fundraiser and they were charging us to get in.
Okay.
I am not paying this amount of money to go into this small place, I told her.
What place was it?
It was, where was it? There by Access Park? I think it was
Yeah.
that side. I don't know. It was close
Maybe
to...
what's up used to be.
No, man. It's somewhere there, but it was like a golf range.
Oh,
yes, the
that-
range.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So you see how small it is, right?
Jeez.
So they were having like this fundraiser, and they were like charging 80 rand to go in. 80 rand for me to go into a clubhouse? I don't think so. So I was like, no, we're not gonna go here.
Sheesh, that is a bit steep.
It is, right? For Kyle's rubber. No. So then my sister was like, okay, then let's go to 2 shots.
Oh.
What the fuck is 2 shots? It's like, it's also in Kilsrubber, but
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, why?
do you know where it
I
is?
went there. You know that burger joint, the Grillfather.
Grillfather,
Yeah.
yes. And then
So
at night they turn it into most 2 shots.
they had a
yes.
grand opening there or something. So the week after that, so I went because I like their burgers. I used to go one in Woodstock. So because I like their food. So I was okay, cool, also, let me go check that out. So I went there and I was like, well, I do not belong here.
So we went there. So now my buzz is already killed. I'm really like, and then now this 80 rand for this, my buzz is already dead, And then we go there, and I'm just like, oh my god, this is
It's 2 shots.
I don't smoke to play pool. I don't smoke with this big crowd of people. The floor is sticky. I don't smoke. And you could see it on my face. And everybody's getting annoyed with me because I'm not going to hide how irritable or how I have no lust on my face. My face cannot hide my emotions.
Yeah.
Like, you will see if I'm pissed off, you will see it on my face. If I have no lust, you will see it on my face. If I'm like, you will see it, So that was going on. I was like, guys, I'm going to go sit in the car. I'm going to go sleep in the car.
Holy shit, so they were in the club.
And I'm like, midnight, we're going to go.
Holy shit.
Or at least 1 o'clock the latest, we're going to go.
Yo, that's heavy.
And now my phone was still dying, so I couldn't watch Netflix for call. I'm laying in the car. Now I actually dozed off, and I woke up. I'm like, looking at the time, it's like, okay, these bitches are not here yet. I'm tired. I want to go. It is cold. I didn't bring a blanket, nothing. So then I tried to go back inside. They're like, no, it's full. You can't go in. And then I tried to call, but my phone is dying.
Holy
like it's on like 2% or
the worst
something,
night
and no one is picking up. I was like, this is the worst.
So much full, you can't go in. What cuck is that?
And then I had to wait for one person to come out for me to go
ways.
in. Yeah. So eventually he let me in. I'm just like, I see them and they're playing pool. I'm And they're playing pool with these guys. I'm like, no. So then I told my sister, like, okay, can someone just call me an Uber? And then, like, you guys can stay. Just call me an Uber, and you can enjoy the rest of your night.
Yeah.
And then she's like, she don't want an Uber. She wants to go now.
Oh my gosh.
Let's go, guys.
Yo.
I was like, bitch.
Yeah. She just not to say that.
I said, you can stay. Just call me an Uber because my phone is dying.
Yeah.
Don't let me kill your buzz.
Yeah.
I really removed myself from the situation in the car so that you don't have to see my face.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Just, I'm telling you, my phone is dead. Call me an Uber back to what's her name's house. And then that is it. You know, you guys can still stay, whatever. She's like, no, we're all gonna go now. To spite me. And I'm like, oh.
Wow.
And then when my sister gets, you know, then she
why
gets
didn't you just call you an Uber?
spicy. I don't know.
That's so ridiculous.
And they still had, 3 coins lined up to play games. And then you could have still played the pool game, you know. Don't let me kill your buzz. But okay.
Why didn't you go somewhere else then?
There was nowhere else to go.
Okay.
Yeah. So we didn't want to go too far because we still had to drive home. You
Okay.
know? And we were planning on having this rager, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, I ended up getting sober after the couple of drinks that I had. So yeah. So that was that. And then we went out again after that as well. So we went to Bossa.
Oh, nice. Which
So it
one?
was the one in Tiger Waterfalls.
Oh, yeah.
So that side over there. So that was still fine. It was chill, another girls' night, okay, but we didn't and then I still met up with a couple of other ship friends after that, and then we went to Stones in Durbanville, which is okay, the clubs. I haven't been in a club vibe in so long.
Is that Stone still there?
Yes.
Holy shit.
The only Stones that's not there is Edward Street Stones. Edward Street Stones
Really?
is dead. It's gone.
Wow.
Yeah, like super gone.
Sheesh,
And
that whole street changed completely.
Pharaoh Stones is still there, surprisingly. I thought that one would have been gone already.
Yeah.
That one's still there.
Wow.
But we went to the one in Durbanville, and it was actually really nice. Yeah. But there was this one guy that tried to talk to me, and I was just like,
What was wrong with him?
he was old.
How old are you talking about?
I don't know, he just looked old. I don't ask him.
Can't funny.
No, I was just sitting at the bar and I was watching TV. It was MMA. So I was watching that, drinking my drink, And then, everybody, I think they'd gone to the toilet and stuff like that. And he had asked me something. And I'm just like, what? And he's like, are you enjoying your night? So I'm like, thank you.
You just said thank you.
Yes. It's like, yes, thank you. And it just, kept on watching. It was like,
Sure.
bro, me being alone is not an invitation for you to come into my space.
He probably thought, okay, our friends are gone now. It's a perfect opportunity.
And even that night, I wasn't looking for it, but also when I looked around, nobody in my vibe or caught my attention was there,
Interesting. But how would that work though? Let's say you're with somebody and they have to leave for a few months.
See, that's the hard part. We used to say it's hard, dating someone from a different country because you're obviously in a different country, So some people do make it work.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of people put in the effort to make it work. But, you just don't smile for the drama. But you also don't want to date a person from the same country as you. Especially South Africans. We don't want to date other South Africans when we go abroad.
Okay.
Because you didn't go international to have local cuisine.
That's cockfighting.
You went international to try international cuisine, and then if it works, you make it work. You make the effort. But there needs to be that person worth it enough to make the effort.
Okay.
Yeah.
But do you think that person would be okay with you being out there in those ocean streets and
if it's
for
someone
6 or 7 months?
someone on the ship.
No. Somebody, let's say, okay, so you won't even consider dating locally, even though you went out to your favorite 2 shots, the range. You won't even consider.
I mean, if I meet someone and we really have this really good connection, I'm not gonna knock it. I'm not gonna be like, oh my God, you're South African.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna.
Give me
be
your
like
ID.
that.
Give me your passport.
No, if it's if we have that connection and it ticks off all my boxes and stuff like that.
And then you won't. But then he needs to be okay with you being gone.
I mean, that's also the ultimate test as well, isn't it? to like see that trust vibes as well. Even if it's like one contract or two contracts, just to save up the money to like stay and actually build a life together.
Would you do that in the end?
I would be like, try to find something at home, but I'm not gonna sit without money. So while I'm busy looking or whatever, or try to come up with another plan, I'm gonna go over and work, right? And this is like my job. If you are going to stay loyal, stay faithful for those 6 months, and I come back and I don't hear this and I don't hear that, and like we talk whatever.
Wait, what's this? What?
You know, little birds.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
You know, your friends keeping an eye out, whatever. You know, you don't hear like, oh, he was doing this with this person, or like. Would
you have that trust, that confidence to say?
I don't trust easily, so like that was like so for me, like being away for 6 months and coming back and you still want to be with me and you're still faithful and all that other stuff and you're still like determined to be with me like you were when we first meet. And it's like, oh, this guy's like really trying. Sure. Wow. Because for me, it's like nothing. If I meet someone and I go there, it's nothing for me to be like, oh no, it's fine. I can sit without. Yes. You know, I have sat without for so long already. Like. It's nothing new to me. Okay. If I'm with someone, I'm with someone. Yeah. I'm not even going to look at another guy except for my BTS boyfriend. That's it. That is it.
Okay, so ideally you would want somebody that also has your lifestyle.
Yeah, like if I meet someone on board, like we both understand what ship life is like, right? And we have like, we're on the same page, like we different books, but we're on the same page. We're like, oh, now I want to be with someone, I'm going to make it work. You know, we make that effort. But I haven't met anybody like that yet. I know. And it's okay. You know, there's plenty of fish in the ocean.
This is true. And you literally live on the ocean.
Yeah, and it's not like impossible. Like if I meet someone, we can arrange where it depends. Like, okay, if he signs off earlier than me, he can always extend his vacation so we can sign on the same time. I can always make my vacation shorter to sign on onto the same ship. We can always link. So we not guaranteed, but it's like, okay, we can go to the same shop. You know, we can request it, especially if we in similar departments. Yeah, then it will be easier for us to get in the same shop and do that, even especially from different countries, right? Okay. I can easily save money and I can go visit him. He can come visit me. It's like a vacation. Like I've never been there, so I'm like, I'm gonna go see him there. He's gonna show me around his hometown. He's never been here. I can show him around here, you know. Like the only thing for me is like sometimes it's the language barrier. Like people do speak English there, but obviously with people from other countries, English is not their first language. Yes. And I have a very weird sense of humor, so if you don't get it, it's gonna be like. So yeah, that's like for me that you need to get me. Yeah. There needs to be like that vibe between us, basically.
So. Okay, so let's say you meet somebody from the Philippines, ticks all your boxes and stuff. Where would you where would you want to live? And in the Philippines, at his home, or would you feel more comfortable living back home, or?
Like if we decide that we're not gonna do ships anymore.
Yeah, and finally just settle and say, fuck it, we're gonna have kids, like, which you don't want, you know, just settle down and live in a normal.
Depend like on our situation. Okay. So if he maybe has his own like setup at home already, it's like I've got a house, I've lined up a job, it's gonna be like we're gonna be sorted, you can get a job here, whatever with your qualifications, sure we can go to the Philippines. Okay. You know. Same thing for South Africa as well. Yeah. But I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna sell my house, you know, everything here and then whatever. Like we can still make an income from the house here. Yes. Or we can still, you know, come and visit this side. Or the same thing for me. So I'm not going to tell him like, oh, sell your house there and move here. Keep it there, rent it out, make an income there. So we can still have something, you know.
Or you could say like, for 2 years we'll live in your country. 2 years we'll live in my country.
Yeah, and like we see.
Make
like,
a decision.
Exactly. Or just move somewhere else in the middle. Yeah. Like we'll each just, you know, go somewhere different together and just start a new life there, you know, if it's possible. So yeah, why not?
Yeah. Interesting. Interesting.
Again, it depends on the person.
And that person also doesn't want to have kids also. Yeah. Or what if this person like says, but I love kids, and would you change your mind?
No.
It's kind of funny.
But I'm also gonna be like, well, if you really, really want a child, would I tell you to go have a child somewhere else?
Whoa. Whoa.
I don't know. It will depend. Like I can't say because maybe I
Would you
could feel
actually
different.
consider that?
I would also
Go have
consider.
a child somewhere else and then you can come back here.
Yeah, like I don't know.
I don't know.
Like I need to be.
Whoa.
It depends on how I feel, you know.
That's crazy.
Because I'm not against adopting either. There's just so
Okay.
many kids out there that, you know, that they need homes.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind adopting, but if you want a child and you're open to adoption, sure, we can do that. You know, we're in this together.
Okay, so you're more against like going through the whole pregnancy phase and
Something like that.
is it?
So I don't know what it is. For me, I feel like the world is already so overpopulated. Why do I need to contribute to the population where
But
there's so many kids
but
out there, you know?
research is actually showing that we're underpopulated. Do you know that?
There's still so many abandoned kids.
No, that's true. That's true.
And I mean, it's
So,
just
so you
like,
would prefer not to get pregnant but to adopt.
but it also depends. Like, I won't do it by myself. You understand?
Okay,
Yeah. So I
got
won't
you.
do it by myself.
Got
I
you.
would, if I have that partner and
Yeah.
they really want a child, I'm not gonna give them my child. Like, but I mean, if they really want one of their own, I'm not gonna like say like, okay, so what we can do is we can get someone else's egg or something, you know, and just let someone be the oven or whatever. If that's really what you want, that's okay, you know.
Interesting.
But if you're open to like adopting and saving a child and then giving that child all our love and stuff like that, by all means do it. We can, you know, if we're together. But I won't do it by myself.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just like, I can see myself being a mother. I just don't want to be. I can't explain it. It's just.
You can see yourself being a mother, but
I don't want to be a mother to my own child. Does that make sense?
that is a weird. But that child's gonna become a child whether you adopt it
I
or
like my blood or something. I can't
That's so
explain it.
fucking
I can't
weird.
explain it. It's like, yeah.
That's weird.
It's like if I don't have to do it, I won't do it.
Okay.
Like that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't need to do
yeah,
it. I don't
okay.
have the want to do
Yes,
it.
gotcha.
But if I met someone and I got that
Oh,
want,
got you.
sure, why
Yeah,
not? You
yeah.
know, but it wouldn't be like my child because then I'll probably be way too old anyway. So yeah, instead of wasting those 9 months of being pregnant, just get one and then boom, it's done. Kind of a thing, yeah.
Go shopping. Hey.
Yeah.
You look good.
Yes, so why not? So yeah.
Wow, interesting. Interesting perspective.
It's hard for me to explain, but that's just yeah.
I also probably wouldn't understand because I can't go through that.
Everybody's
process, so,
different,
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
If I was one of those people, they were like, oh, I really want to have a baby,
Yeah.
then I would probably have had a baby already. Many of opportunities. Could have had like a nice little mix international baby already, but it's not what I want or need.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Interesting.
the only way I can explain it.
Yeah. I don't think men will get it. That's yeah. I don't think
Because
will
men
get it.
have that like, oh, I want to be a father, but for them it's just, oh, I made this.
Yeah, but you
I'm
actually
a
have
father.
to go through the whole process of being pregnant.
Exactly. The thing is, they can be attached to the child, but they don't have that deeper connection as what a mother has to a child.
Because that
you know?
baby
Yes.
lived inside the womb.
Exactly. Yes.
for 9
See,
months,
I
yeah.
know fathers that they are constantly there for their kids. Like 24/7, they're there. You know, they will. It's like a partnership between the mother and
Yes.
father. And I know fathers who are just fathers in name, basically.
Okay, yes,
You know.
Yes.
So yeah, for men it's like different. They can easily disconnect their feelings and
You think
their
so?
distance. I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you do get some mothers who can do that as well. Be like, they'll give birth to the child and be like, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, you do get
Yeah.
women like that. But majority of women are like, it's that emotional.
Yes.
Yeah.
I suppose I I can't do what you do because I don't have the womb and
Yeah.
all of the other. But that's why I can't really relate to that.
So yeah.
Heavy.
It's been like you can say I want to be a dad so bad, but then like there will be times where you will put yourself first before their child. Men wise, I mean, like there are men that do that. They put themselves first.
Yeah, I've
before
seen
their
that
kids,
before.
You know,
Yeah.
instead of I know dads that'll put their child first before
Of course.
them.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's being a father, you know. But it takes a special kind of person to be like that. And it's not all guys are like that because there's men are very self-centered. Like,
But I do know some women also.
Yeah,
That put
like,
other things first.
I feel like I'll be very self-centered as well. I would want to
Really?
put myself first because I'm so used to just me first, you know, and like.
But they say being a mother changes that. You
But do
know.
I want to change like that?
This is the question. This is the question.
That's the thing.
Yeah. But you do enjoy the cruise
I
ship
do,
life.
yes.
Really.
I know. It's.
What's so compelling about it? What's drawing you?
I don't
so
know.
much?
It's just like when I think about I'm gonna get on a plane now and I'm gonna go and I'm gonna see like new places. Like some of the places I would have seen before, but it's gonna be like someone new I meet and be like, oh, have you been here? It's like, no, okay, let me take you there. You know, have you done this year? Like, no. It's like, okay, let's go. And like, certain whatever. And it's just like the experience for me, you're always meeting someone new.
Yes.
And then when you meet someone you know from previous contacts, again, it's just going to be like a different
It's like a
situation.
reunion,
Yes.
like, yeah.
And then like the vibe on the ship is going to be different from the last. And then you'll be like, oh my God, remember when we did this on that ship? It's just like, it's not the same, you know, we used to do this and that. It's like always that comparison and stuff like this. It's always going to be different. And I mean, it's predictable and unpredictable at the same time because when I go on board, I know what to expect. I know what's going to happen. I know what I need to do, you know. You're going to get situations work-wise that it's going to be exactly the same as what you did last contract, you know, so you already know what to expect. The only thing that's going to be different is like different crew members, different people, different like energies that they give with different vibes, you know. The places might be the same, but it's going to be different because you're with a different person or whatever. You meet new people. So yeah, you're gonna meet some people you don't want to see ever again. So,
Are the guests usually like friendly towards you?
it depends on what area you're gonna be in. Yeah.
What's the worst place or the worst?
I've heard the worst guess is New York.
Really?
Yeah, that they're just so rude.
Wow.
LA was like nice because they're very pretentious and like hoity-toity, but it's like, you know, they will behave.
I've heard that word in a long time.
Miami is okay, a lot of Spanish people, and they do get very rowdy and loud and stuff like that. And then, you know, they get the ghettos as well. But it also depends on what is your itinerary. If it's a 7-day cruise, you're going to get people that can afford it. If it's a shorter cruise, you're going to get those ratchets. So, yeah.
Cockfit. Ratchet.
But it is like, you go on the 4 days, it's like, oh, it's a 3-day cruise next cruise, you know what's gonna come out, the Reggies are gonna come, and it's gonna be like, oh my God, so loud and obnoxious. And, like, you really know what to expect. So,
But you love it.
I do.
How long do you think you...
My mother asked me the same question the other day, like yesterday, and I'm like, I don't know. I think she's waiting for me to like say like, oh no, I want you to settle down and don't go anywhere because she's getting older now. So I think she's like also like, I don't have a lot of time left, and I'm like, calm down. It's like I understand.
Has she spoken to you about grandkids or?
She wants them so bad.
I think that's why.
Like so bad, but she knows where I stand with the whole thing, but she doesn't want to accept it in her heart. She's still hoping I might change my mind. But you have 2 other daughters.
Yes.
Yeah. They're also single, you know. I mean, they want kids. They actually want kids. So why are you like bugging me, the person that doesn't want? Like, you know, it's like, it's okay. It's like, I don't know. So she's like, I think she's retiring as well. So she's going to have a lot of time to like sit and think and... all that stuff.
When's my grandbaby's coming?
Yeah, and she's like the only one of her siblings that doesn't have grandkids.
Oh, wow.
So I think that's also like...
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Shame.
I'm sorry. Sorry, mommy. But it's just like things work out for a reason. I don't know, like, don't know what the reason is, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know either. I don't know what the future holds for me. Maybe I do, maybe I don't, but shame. I think she wants to at least meet a grandchild before, anything.
That day.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I get it. I get it.
I mean, my sisters, they do want kids. Like, Amy really wants a child as well. Mishka's, like, open to it. She's like, yeah. It's just, like, finding the right person to actually have a child with. You don't want to, like, have a child and then it's you alone and then you circling with the father trying to get, so.
You don't want to go through that.
No.
And
there's just too many of them out there. There's too many of them out there.
Too many.
Like,
Streets are wild.
The streets are wild. They're all crazy. There's literally a jungle out there. So you have to, as a single mother, you need to go find that father. Where is my money? You need to feed your child. No one wants to
spend time with your child.
Yeah, you don't want to go Wakanda and then the spear now. I'm gonna go hunt down that father now. No one's smart for that. I'm not smart for that. Like, no. So yeah.
You need that drama. Yeah.
And she thinks it's like, oh, now you're earning dollars. You can afford a child. No, Nancy, I can't. I can't even afford this 4-month vacation. It's like, let's emotional damage.
Emotional damage.
I'm like sitting there I'm like thinking like at the end of the month, like, oh my God, I've got 2 more months. Let me count how much money do I have left. I need to do this and this. I was like, okay, I can only got 2 days in the month, this month. Okay. I'm staying for the rest of the month. But then you inside, you're like, but I want to go out.
Guys.
So yeah, it's a struggle. Like I'm really stretching out the pennies like this. And I don't like it. I really don't. Like on board, everything is just so cheap, You get like the drinks half price. You don't have to pay for accommodation. You don't have to pay for food. Unless you go to one of the specialty restaurants. Like even then you pay like minimal, know. Because you do get that discount. And on ports, because you save up your money like that, you can go out and do this stuff. Like now on vacation, you have to like literally count the pennies. And like when I go back on board, I'm only going to have this much money. And I'm like, oh. And I need to save for Korea as well. So yeah, I'm really...
Your man's is waiting.
Bro. I'm coming.
But maybe you get your paperwork soon from Pretoria and then you can go sooner than...
Yeah, I just have to wait for that... SMS for them to send.
That's all you need, an SMS.
Yeah.
If you're listening, Pretoria, you know who you are. Send her paperwork. She doesn't want to be in these streets.
I really don't. But yeah. I do when I don't. Because when I'm at home, I do miss my friends.
Okay.
I really do. Like sometimes I'll be like sitting in group and we're like, it would be so cool if like so-and-so was like here with me now. Yeah. We'd just be like vibing and like catching my shows, whatever. So man. So I do like wish I could take my home friends and take them with me onto the show, And like to at least show them like this is what I'm doing. Because we like video call and chat and stuff like that. And I'll tell them like this has happened, but like there's only my one friend that will fully understand because she's been on board before, because I met her there. So it's like for me to try and explain to my friends like it's hard because you need to be there to actually like get it.
Yes.
Yeah. So
did you pick up a bit of an accent?
Did I?
Because like you have this. There's a bit of like Spanish in there, like a bit of Mexican, like and you say like the ends, words with the ends, like. I don't. Then it's like this.
I don't know. I don't hear it because like when I'm there. I'm talking normally, and I don't hear myself like changing. And then when I call my mommy or something, and then she's like, here's the accent again.
You see, I'm not the only one who noticed it.
Now I'm like, no, it's not. But then after I talk to her a little bit more, then I can hear like the South African coming, pitchy by pitchy. But yeah, because you can't use like the slang or even, because it's not, people won't understand.
They won't understand.
Yeah. So if I say yeah, they were like. I'm gonna say yeah.
You didn't just say that.
Yeah, and I just say yeah. Oh, I just like comprende, yeah.
Comprende.
It's just like understand. So yeah, it's just like I have my own slangs that I use there.
So it's just like that I can understand you. That's cool.
Yeah.
But Sheena, thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you.
It's so like show. Didn't feel like. I don't know, like a heavy interview vibes, which was nice.
That's good. I'm glad that you felt comfortable. Yeah, I don't like doing a formal interview. You know, it just has to be organic as possible.
And it was very organic, thank you.
Oh, no. Thank you.
Like this
It
water.
takes two to tango. Like this water. But thank you. I don't know if you want people to find you in the streets on social media or anything. I don't know if you want to.
I am on
mention that.
Instagram, on Facebook. I don't post a lot about like traveling on the ship and whatever, because like when I'm out on sea, it's hard to get. Like we do get internet, but we have to pay for it. So like most of the time, my phone is legit. Like sometimes I even forget I have a phone when I'm on board.
Really?
Yeah. Like one contract, my phone was in my cupboard the whole 6 months. Like
Shit.
I only took it out like once or twice a month, just like message my mom and be like, I'm still alive, I'm still okay, how are you? How's
Holy
things?
shit.
Yeah. But I mean now
I'm starting to
getting,
wonder how this boyfriend's gonna work. It's like 6
But I'm
months.
getting
That's one
used
text.
to it.
She don't love me no more.
Exactly.
I knew it.
But I'm getting used to now like being on my phone on board and actually like communicating more now. So I've learned how to communicate a lot more now on board since the pandemic, because now we have to like use our phones and stuff, you know. So I'm learning more and more, but I do tend to forget to like post stuff. So if we go somewhere, I'll take a picture of like my food and like the place that we are, but I'll never post it.
Yeah.
I'll forget
It's
to like post it. Yeah. So yeah, you'll see maybe like me posting, I'm at the airport, or this is the ship, and then that'll be like it for the next 6 months until I get back home.
Is she okay? Like
Until I get back home, like for vacation, I'm like, I'm back, and I'm like, nice trip, eh? So, gone and then here.
she was literally ghost. She
For
was
real,
ghost.
yeah. So even like I like post a couple of times, but then most it's in your story, and your story like disappears.
It disappears, yeah. Yeah, stories are nice like that.
But I do want to go on my Instagram and like see like, oh, this is what I did, like memories.
I've been there,
but I keep on forgetting. Like I've got all these food pictures on my phone, but have I posted most of them? No.
But sometimes it's nice to keep things for yourself also, you know.
And I have like those memories. But it's like also like if I'm always on Instagram. Mind you, I'm always on Instagram.
Really?
Instagram and Facebook, I'm always on it. I just never post anything. I'm always looking at other people's
You're just
things.
scrolling.
And I'm on the reels and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I should post this. I've done this. I should post this. And I'm like, okay, next. Just keep going, you know. So I should, but yeah. I know a lot of people that work on cruise ships that do the whole like vlogging thing and everything. And for me, that's just so much admin.
It's a lot of admin.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
get that.
To be consistent as well. And I'm like, consistent is not me. I'm not consistent at all. So it is a mission.
Yeah, whatever works for you, man. You know.
Yeah, maybe one day I'll try it.
One day.
I always wanted to do like a cooking vibes, yeah.
Maybe you should.
I always pretend like when I am cooking, you know,
Yeah.
my own little cooking show, you know, but just
talking
without no
through.
camera.
Yeah. Maybe you just put a camera in and see what
Oh,
happens.
that's just so much admin as well, and you have to go edit. I don't want to speed it up. I don't want to slow it down.
No, but just like first step, just put the camera there.
We'll see.
First step.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Or like just like I know this one girl, she's on board, so whenever she like buys something, then she's in her cabin and she's trying it out and she's doing this, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're just so into it. I just can't like
Really?
picture myself. But then again, she's younger than me, so you know that generation.
Okay,
It's just me, millennial.
Yeah.
We stick to face-to-face
Yeah.
vibes.
Real life.
Yeah,
I
that's
get it.
But thank you for inviting me.
No
I really
problem.
enjoyed it. It was nice.
What's your social media handle?
It's Fourie and Sheena.
Fourie.
That Fourie, Sheena.
Fourie Sheena. One word.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that's on Instagram.
Instagram. All right.
And then on Facebook, it's Sheena Joy Fourie.
Okay. I'll put that at the bottom of the screen so people can see.
Yeah, because I think you have me on Facebook
Yeah, I got you on Facebook.
and Instagram, right?
Do I?
Think so.
I can check.
See, this is one of the aerialists on board.
Holy shit. That looks dope.
Yeah, so like we have like an aerial show where they go up in the air and stuff like that. She's
Really?
really good. She was in the circus before she joined the ships.
Really?
Yeah, in Canada.
Holy shit.
Sweetest girl ever. She's like the sweetest person. You would not expect, like if you see her, you would not expect her to be
She
like,
can do all of
yeah.
People who are just listening, she's doing some gymnastics this acrobatic thing
In the air.
in the air. It's crazy.
She's really good.
Wow.
So you meet people like that on board.
Very interesting people. Well, thank you so much for being willing
it
to
was my
come out
pleasure.
here and sharing your story and travels and
I know it was very long.
experiences. What's wrong?
My story was very long.
No.
I spoke a lot, I'm sorry.
No, this is actually a short one. Thank you so much.
No, thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you. Stop.
What you doing out in these streets, Leroux? What you doing out in these streets? What you doing out? What you doing out? What you doing out in these streets? What you doing out in these streets, Leroux? We in these streets.